How's it going, everybody? We are back. Hope everybody's having a good ass day. We are getting into some more YouTube drama, and then we're getting into some gaming drama, and then we're getting into some Fallout London. But the Ava Chris Tyson situation is disgusting, says Umpaville. I would agree. It is extremely concerning that someone with the position of Chris Tyson is involved in this sort of thing. But let's be honest, it's not the first time. We've talked about this a bunch. Everybody has, and it's honestly one of those things that has kind of just become a fact of reality. When a YouTuber gets big enough, you kind of need to just expect them to turn out to have been a little pervy with it, which it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. We know that, but it's just a thing. So let's see what Mr. Giga Asperger's has to say about it.
Today's video is about Dr. Chris Respect, aka
Chris
Ava.
Respect is
Mr.
so
Beast
funny.
recently became the largest channel on YouTube with over
Yes.
300,000 subscribers, and he's been YouTube's golden man, golden boy, whatever, for quite some time. Every single video he puts out gets millions of views in seconds. It's crazy, and it makes me want to beat my head against a fucking wall. Okay, guys? The fact that this happens is because the man is incredibly brand friendly, and
Yep.
it's a very kind of corporate. They did the
Very
Squid
high
Games on
production
their
stuff.
own. It's a very big, new, high production value thing that is kind of the antithesis of old YouTube. And in
Yep.
spite of the content,
His YouTube thing is basically just very high production stuff, which, it kind of doesn't fit the niche of most YouTubers. But at the same time, by not fitting that niche, it kind of creates its own niche in the YouTube space.
sort of being the antithesis of old YouTube, YouTube still looks at it extremely favorably. Every brand wants to do a deal with Mr. Beast. He's the golden boy. Like he is the golden boy.
He's
We're doing
extremely
over
brand
200
friendly.
million views. The first 30 days, the average video right now does 140 million views.
Right.
The first 30.
Right,
And then the
right.
first year it does like 220.
Throughout his career on YouTube, the man has had a rotating cast of friends and characters that appear in his videos, but only a few have remained loyal. We've got Jake the Viking, he dropped out real quick. Also, Sneeko. Sneeko was also part of Mr. Beast's crew for a
Sneeko
little
was
while.
there for a
I do
little
not
bit.
like Sneeko at all. I hate Sneeko, actually. And Sneeko is on Twitter right now.
I wouldn't even
bitching
say
at
that I
people for
hate
not
Sneeko.
covering
I
the
would just
Ava
say
Tyson
that he's one of those like really, really small, petty people that you can't even really like respect them enough to dislike them. Like he's the type of person that you can't even really dislike him because there's nothing to dislike. He's just such a nothing of a person that it's impossible to like truly have a negative opinion about him because everything he says is somebody else's opinion.
story.
Where's the consistency? When are you gonna go and disavow
Everybody's
Chris
talking
Mr.
about
Beast?
it, by the
You
way.
have
Like
way more information. You actually have the receipts, and you haven't said a word yet. Immediately, Dr. Respect. Ew, disgusting, worst person ever.
And a couple weeks ago, he was bitching about lowering the age of consent.
What do you think the
Yeah.
age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be past at a developed age. Destiny.
What is a developed age? If you had a set
and by the way, Destiny has to be one of those people that it's like he's almost as bad as Sneeko, except at least he makes his own opinions, except those opinions always tend to be whatever is most inflammatory to the most amount of people. He just wants people to look at him and just feel as though whatever it is he's saying is right, but he wants to say it in the worst way possible. This situation with Sneeko, and in fact, for the past few months, he's kind of managed to not be a complete degenerate, but like with the thing that happened with the president of the United States, or former president, I guess. Do you stop being a president when your term ends? I don't think so. Well, whatever. But with the assassination attempt and the things he said, like he kind of cemented himself for the next few months as the guy to be hated on on the debate space. So it's kind of cringe. But honestly, getting cooked by Destiny is even more cringe.
set a
That's
law
good.
for it, what would you set it? What
Wrong
would you set it
answer.
about?
It's a developed age.
No, answer the question. Holy shit, you're such a cowardly.
The internet is terrible with all this kind of stuff, and I'm continuously
Though it is
trying
funny
to do
to
my
see
best
Destiny
to
call
get true
somebody else
information
a
and actual
cowardly fuck.
factual stuff to put in front of you guys and cover these situations and stories as reluctantly as I possibly can, because I hate this shit. I don't like doing this. I don't want to talk about these people anymore. I hate these people.
Then don't
I
talk
want
about
them
them.
all to stop. To make me feel better and to pull me out of this negative headspace for a little bit, I'm gonna ask you all to do something for me. Go to
Okay.
sour.gg. I don't really care if you do or not.
I don't.
But we got candy. We got all sorts of shit. I don't usually put brand deals in these types of videos, but I don't care. At this point, I don't like the internet anymore. Please, go to sour.gg and just buy stuff. You don't even have to use code Oompa. Just
Here's the thing, Oompa. Like, you're absolutely in your right to make a brand deals in this type of video, because if these people want to get turned into content so badly, turn them into content. Monetize the fuck out of them. Make your greens, my G.
buy something. Support a company that has
Oi, oi,
actual
how's it
good
going, Ale? Been a while.
values
Where you
and
been?
is made up of people that care about what they do. Anyways, aside from Sneeko, one of the people that has been in the Beast crew is Ava Tyson, the meme god, childhood friends with Mr. Beat. And stuff has been coming out. A lot of stuff's been coming out. There has been some stuff that sort of was swept under the rug a couple months ago. And if all this stuff is true, this has massive
goody, that's what I
implications,
got.
not only on Ava, obviously, as an internet dweller, but Mr. Beast as well. The Mr. Beast industrial complex. And
Mr.
compound
Beast
this,
industrial
adding to the
complex.
situation, some
Bro is the
former
military.
employees of Mr. Beast are coming out on Twitter alleging that Mr. Beast knew about this all along. And
Look, of course he freaking knew about it. But the thing is, Chris Tyson and later Ava Tyson, he and she were one of Mr. Beast's oldest friends. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they knew each other before the channel started to like actually, explode in popularity. So it's like, yeah, I can completely understand why he would be reluctant to, kind of go against his friend just because his friend was a little fucking creep. Which, from an outsider perspective, it's like, oh my God, you should have gone up against him like immediately. You should have kicked him out. And if we're being smart about it, absolutely. It's like if I have a brand as big as Mr. Beast's, and I have somebody on my team that has all of that in their past, they're a ticking time bomb. Eventually, that's going to come out. Yeah, you either delete all of that and make sure that as much of it cannot be traced back to you, and you never interact with any of that again. And if I get word that you have been interacting with it again, you're done. It's over. Or you're done. It's over. Like, I can't have you here. It if I was trying to do something that the same thing that Mr. Beast was trying to do, why would I ever endanger everything that I've built for this person that clearly is endangering what I've been trying to build? Like, you can say, oh, Chris Tyson is his own person. Sure, but his entire online persona is irrevocably tied to Mr. Beast. Everything he does online, it reflects on Jimmy, and it reflects on Mr. Beast's brand, and it reflects on everybody else in the Mr. Beast team, and it reflects on his own family. Like, you cannot be this online, this tied and connected to so many people, and then do this stuff, because you're going to hurt all of them. You both profiteering on each other's drum. Welcome to Nolly. Okay, see, here's the thing. People who say they don't like drama only don't like drama when it's about them, which is perfectly fine. We're social creatures. We like to talk about this stuff that happens in the social circle. It's interesting to us. It's fascinating to us, even. So it's like, yeah, people like to talk about the drama. But I'll be honest, somebody who is this big and this famous and this well known getting exposed as a child lover kind of goes a little beyond drama.
And knew from the very start of Ava's behavior that this was going on.
My name's Dawson. I worked at Mr. Beast from February to May of this year, 2024. Chris is the tip of the iceberg.
Could this be the downfall of Mr. Beast's massive empire?
Absolutely,
Over
it
the
could be.
last 30 days,
Absolutely, it could be. All it takes for this to child lover, yeah, oh yeah, that's what we're talking about here. We're not just talking about like regular old drama now. This guy would commission Shadman himself. This guy was one of the people who paid for Shadman to draw pictures of real life young girls. That's what we're talking about here. Like this is next level shit. This goes beyond just drama. This is some type of thing that he could face legal problems for. And I've made my opinion before, like very clear before, but like lolicon stuff, you know, if you like the lolly shit, it's like there's only one reason you could like that, and it's because you like kids. Because if you didn't like kids, you wouldn't like, you know, anime kids. Because that's it. Like there's nothing there for you to like if you don't like kids. So this guy liking, you know, lollies and stuff like that. Yeah, you're a child liker. You like kids. I was about to say, and that's okay, but it's not. It's really not okay. I'm not saying he's committed like any form of assault against kids. I'm not saying he's like hurt anyone, but that doesn't change the fact that like he absolutely has this thing about him that absolutely needs to be addressed.
there have been several notable videos that have come out exposing Ava for similar acts that recently got disrespect destroyed on the internet, I guess, just annihilated. I mean, the guy is probably going to come back, but it's been pretty bad. The only people who've been defending him are fools who are doing so because they're engaging in a culture war, not because they are thinking about virtues and morals and doing what's right. So what exactly are the claims that are being made? How true are these claims? I've got to make it very clear that right about now, as soon as one allegation comes out, 10 more follow it immediately. You got the first plane that hits the tower, the second plane, the third plane, followed by the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then consecutively. So
like the tower is rubble and there's still more planes hitting the rubble to make sure that there's no survivors.
On and so forth.
Really, Oompa, you
Footage
couldn't,
is really bad.
you couldn't leave that out of,
So
you
we're gonna
couldn't leave
try to
that out of the
filter
video,
through
huh?
this
You just needed
nonsense
that, that
and
needed
deliver
to be in the
this
video,
information
huh,
as concisely and
Oompa?
quickly as I possibly can, while I try to figure out what's real and just, you know, start to, I guess, find out who. Yeah. So anyways, a Cheeto, a commentary YouTuber, put a video 2 days ago saying it's over for Chris Tyson.
Oh, for sure.
put a video out 7 days ago titled, "This video will make you hate Chris Tyson." Brion put a video out yesterday saying Chris Tyson got caught talking to a minor. It's bad, parentheses, allegations.
It's not even an allegation, that's the thing. These aren't allegations, my guy. This is like established fact. There is evidence.
That is such a YouTube title, dude. I love it. And there's a lot more. If you just look at it, there will probably be many more by the time this video comes out. I try to put effort into the videos. Believe it or not, I know it's crazy.
Cap.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, we'll move on. These
Cap.
videos go through Ava's past tweets, video appearances, Discord messages, Snapchat, engagements with other creators, and Professor X's device Cerebro was used to read her mind X-Men style, Big Chungus. First video that we looked through was Brion's video, and Brion was actually going through a video uploaded by a channel called Prism42, and you can see basically real time as this came out, other videos coming out, and it's being, everything's rabbit hole, and there's spins on every single video. It's wild. There's a lot of misinformation about this one and a lot of true information as well, unfortunately, which is kind of bad. And there's one person in particular, an individual called Lava, who is in these messages with Ava. The fellow goes by Lava GS. Lava is 20 years old now, but it all stems from years ago when Lava was underage, okay? By the way, Lava...
I don't give a shit about Foilverse or Zenless Zone Zero. Leave my money alone.
Followed me at the point of all this stuff coming out and reached out asking if I wanted some clarification on stuff very early on, I think yesterday or the day before when all this stuff started to really break. And I got a lot of clarification from Lava. Lava is the supposed victim, by the way. So we have actual research done in this video. Lava was a longtime fan of Mr. Beast's, claiming to have found Mr. Beast when he only had 500 subscribers. And at one point, Lava got a signed CSGO knife from Jimmy, which is pretty badass. Now, it makes sense that if Lava found the Krusty Crew and the Jimothy Beast channel back at 500 subs, that he'd be a known person in their fan base. And Lava even appeared in a Mr. Beast gaming video, which you can see on his Twitter bio, but it has since been removed.
Lava, Pluto, assemble!
Hi, how are you?
I need you to make this 10 times harder.
How hard do you want it, Jimmy?
Hard.
So we've got tweet exchanges between Lava and Ava that go back, showing that they've interacted many times publicly. Lava was asked by Ava to be a moderator on her Twitch streams all the way back in 2018 when Lava was only 14 years old. And the interactions here aren't necessarily inappropriate, though the choice to call 14-year-old Lava dad is sort of interesting, I've got to say. Also, making a 14-year-old mod seems like a bad idea. I don't really know about that 100%. Twitch mod, I don't know. Maybe Ava wasn't aware of Lava's age at this point. I have no idea. It's just bizarre, though. This is not illegal or something.
Look. They've been in voice calls multiple times. If you don't recognize the voice of the person you're in a voice call with as being that of a 14-year-old, kind of got some serious problems with your hearing, my dude.
That can be led to cancellation. This is just weird. Prison then goes through a lot more tweet exchanges between Lava and Ava, showing that they have a history of interaction while Lava was underage and using that to prove a point. We don't need to go over all of it. There's plenty of other videos if you want to go really deep into that. I think the interaction we just went over is probably enough. We know that they were pretty close or close enough to interact publicly on Twitter and close enough for Ava to trust Lava to want to have him moderate the Twitch. And Ava even gave Lava a shout out in 2019 to tell them people to go follow in Lava's Twitch. This is where it gets a little bit more weird. Ava once tweeted that if she hit her Patreon goal, she'd release her, and Lava responded saying that he was Ava's first Patreon sub. That's weird. That's really weird. But we do have context for it, luckily.
He shows that he donated some money. He donated like $1 or something. So it's not enough to meet the goal. And he says, but not $5. Pathetic. Just kidding. Kissy face. Yeah, this is the part that I have a problem with.
Then the conversation supposedly ended with Ava saying,
no one can look at that interaction and go, oh, they're just playing around. Okay, look. It would be okay if this was a 14 and a 15-year-old. It would be okay if it was a 19 and a 20-year-old. It is not okay when it's a 14 and a 20-year-old. It just isn't. It's just not okay. It just isn't. Like, everybody knows it's not okay. Lava coming out and saying, oh, it's okay, he didn't do anything wrong. That is completely besides the point. Whether or not Lava feels as though he was victimized, that doesn't change the fact that he was, in fact, victimized.
I posted some fire for you, please.
That's like, look, that's like if somebody just ran up to me with a baseball bat, cracked me over the skull, threw me in the hospital for a week, and then I come out and say, no, I don't want to press charges. Like, it's okay. He didn't understand what he was doing. Yeah, the fuck he did. Yeah, the fuck he did. In that moment, I've got brain damage. Ignore whatever the fuck it is I'm saying. Throw the man in prison.
Share. This is like the thing that's been going massively
women can use
viral
baseball
on
bats
Twitter,
too.
by the way,
Not
and
as well,
that people
but
are
still.
primarily using to cancel Ava Tyson. Person then goes through a lot of Discord messages about going camping with Ava in the middle of nowhere from a Discord server, supposedly belonging to Carl Jacob, one of the other Mr. Beast team guys, where everyone is simping over Carl, including Lava. It's very weird, but parasocial behavior isn't that uncommon in creator communities.
It's still
and
weird.
It's just kind of why,
And should be encouraged.
creator communities and these parasocial relationships have really evolved over the last couple years, and we can all now clearly see that it's just not appropriate, and it's not a good thing to do, really. Unless you have a very small channel, and there's like a lot of humility and just kind of evenness and transparency, I don't see it ever ending well for a creator with millions of followers or a lot of pull interacting with their audience, to be honest. It's weird.
Yeah, it gets to a point where you should still interact with your audience. You know, don't suddenly start believing that you're just, you know, a celebrity and better than everybody else, because, you know, that's just cringe. But like, there needs to be a certain space that is formed between you and the community, just because of the, you know, the power difference, right? The power dynamic is such that you can't really have an honest, like, discussion with somebody in your community, because they will not be able to argue back from the same position of power that you have. Like, if it devolves into an argument and you're just arguing with somebody in your community, and even if it's someone that you're having an argument with, but you're, you know, friendly with that person, the argument is fine. Like, if you have mods, there's a good chance one of your mods is going to ban them, just on principle of them arguing with you. And now you could try and prevent that. You could try and nurture a community of very adult people who are very mature and don't, like, you know, get worked up like that. But like, that's just not gonna happen on the internet, dude.
Very strange. People in the comment section of the Prism video are saying that Carl needs to be investigated next, and they asked why he was in the Discord in the first place, ignorant to the fact that it is his Discord.
I think with Ava Chris Tyson getting revealed to be this, then now everybody in the Mr. Beast team has to be put under enhanced scrutiny, because now we need to know, like, okay, so one was like this. What about the others? We need to know if the others were the same.
Discord, and unlike a deity, Carl is not omnipresent, omnipotent, and whatever the other one is. Omnipresent, omnipotent, and omnipotent. I'd say Carl delete the server. Shit like this does more harm than actually good, to be honest. Prism also calls back to a delete the server. Omnipresent, omnipotent, and omnipotent.
He said omnipotent twice, but with different pronunciations. The one you were looking for, Oompa, is omniscient. All present, all powerful, all knowing.
I'd say Carl delete the server. Shit like this does more harm than actually good, to be honest.
Except basically what he said was omnipresent, all powerful, all powerful. Basically just a different
Prism
pronunciation,
also
so
calls
now
back
it's
to
a different
Snapchat
word.
that Ava
And then he
sent
flicks
to
his tongue at
Lava
us.
in 2019 when Lava was 15 years old. It is Ava standing under an American flag saying, "For America." Kind of weird.
What?
To be is Ava standing under an American flag saying, "For America." Kind of weird.
I
to be
have no
honest.
idea what
You know,
that would be.
Bizarre. Could be an innocuous bad taste joke. Not 100% sure. And
Almost
it's American
certainly
flag
just a
saying,
bad taste joke,
"For
but
America."
like, not the type of bad taste joke you should be making to a 14-year-old when you're 20.
Bad taste joke, not 100% sure. And this is them meeting up in 2020. And one of the main points that Prism brings up in this entire narrative is trying to show that Ava groomed this guy because they met up in 2020. Then Prism says he's not going to dox Lava, then does dox Lava. We're not going to put this in the video. I just thought that was kind of interesting to read out there.
Yeah,
that's something I actually did that recently, and I feel really bad about it. I feel like a idiot, and I'm formally apologizing.
Big whoops.
The TikTok psychic video. That's why there's a bunch of blurs. This all came out, obviously, and Lava, being someone who edits videos and is on the internet still, responded to a lot of the claims that were coming out on Twitter. One response was a retweet of Keemstar talking about his conversation with Lava, where Lava...
I was not groomed by Chris Tyson. I did not meet Chris Tyson by myself. I meet Chris and Mr. Beast crew with my family present. I ran a Discord with Chris when I was 13, and edgy and inappropriate jokes were said. That's it. Yeah, that's like a thing. The whole thing with grooming is that you expose the child to inappropriate content repeatedly until eventually, you know, they are comfortable with that, and then you escalate to the next level, and then you escalate and escalate and escalate until eventually, you know, you're doing stuff you shouldn't be doing.
Lava denies being groomed by Chris
stuff.
And didn't meet Chris by himself, and his family was with him, as well as when he was 13, he ran a Discord with Chris where inappropriate jokes were said, and that's it. And that's his explanation.
Yeah, that.
Now, I'd like
quote,
to point
unquote,
out from
it.
the side of the accused in the Dr. Disrespect situation, acknowledging that there were conversations with a minor that turned inappropriate sometimes, potentially, is all that it took for Dr. Disrespect to be canceled
Yep.
entirely. But that situation is compounded by the legal aspects of it. It had
Yeah.
to be bad for Twitch to get legally involved. It had to be bad for
Well, that's just it. The difference between the Doc and Chris is very simply put a difference in branding, right? Dr. Disrespect was always a not very brand friendly character. He was always very confrontational, always very COD lobby-esque, right? And so when something like this happens, even if it's something lesser, even if it was something lesser, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it's not, I'm saying even if it was, Dr. Disrespect would always get hit harder than Chris would, right? Why? Because Chris, first of all, Chris isn't the lead man. Chris is just this orbiter around Mr. Beast. He's just somebody in Mr. Beast's crew. Without Mr. Beast, Chris Tyson is a nobody, which means that anything that he does is minimized instantly. Not to mention, Chris is much more brand friendly. Chris is much more, politically correct than Dr. Disrespect ever was, which means that there are all of these circumstances that kind of reduce how bad the situation is going to be and how big the reaction is going to be.
YouTube to deny giving Dr. Disrespect a contract. It had to be bad. So there is more context there with all this, but this is something that I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on. Where do you think this sits? With just this context of the situation so far, the Dr. Disrespect inappropriately messaging a minor.
It's like I said, it's about branding. It's about Dr. Disrespect not being as politically correct. And so when he messed up, he got hit that much harder.
Thing. And then the Chris Tyson inappropriately messaging a minor. But
and by the way, I say messed up because it is a screw up, right? I'm not like trying to minimize it. It's a fuck up. It shouldn't have happened. Dr. Disrespect, what the fuck are you doing?
Then the minor coming out and saying that I was not groomed, and sure there were inappropriate messages, but I was never in danger and not groomed, and I don't give a fuck, and neither should you. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Lava has also tweeted several times saying that people are twisting things to make him seem like a victim. He is not a victim, he says, and he asks for help.
It's like absolutely Lava is a victim. Lava is absolutely a victim here. Regardless of what he has to say about the situation, he's a victim.
Countering the lies. The current pinned tweet for Lava, which says he is in no way a victim, currently has 80,000 likes, and he has images of the videos he's referring to as spreading misinformation about him. But the ones that he shows are from a Cheeto insensitive society, whose videos are about something we'll be talking about very shortly, and not the interactions between Lava and Ava at all. So I asked Lava if he'd take this down, and he's not sure he will. So that's up to him to do that, obviously. But he's aware that this is not true.
It's gotten, a lot of that's the most attention he's ever gotten on Twitter, most likely. He's never going to take those down.
Misinformation out there, no hate, obviously. This is the real problem, this person, not anybody else. A lot of people are calling Lava a shill or paid off because he's defending Ava Tyson.
I don't think he was paid. I think he's just, he's infatuated with Chris or Ava. He's infatuated with that persona and with the Mr. Beast crew, and so he wants to defend them. He's just being honestly, he's being a dumb kid about it.
Lava said, one more thing, IDK how far you're talking about my side in your video, but it could mention that I have received 0 from anyone and none of my socials are monetized. I also am under no contracts with anyone, no NDAs or anything related. Some people are trying to claim this now. So that's what Lava said. I believe irrelevant. Lava. Also, Lava is very stern in that they are not a victim in this situation, but there's no doubt in my mind that the behavior exhibited by Ava is bizarre and strange to say the least. Now back to Prism, the guy who made this video. Nicholas Diorio in a tweet said that Prism crossed the line by trying to make this video by faking a job interview to ambush Lava with questions about Ava. And Lava confirmed that this was true in a one-on-one with me, which is insane to do that. So that's sort of the general covering of the situation, but in DMs with Lava, I got some clarity on everything Prism stated in his video. That sort of complicates things a bit further. That's why I've saved it until now, but everything should be out on the table. Everything that's been talked about
in this
needs to be.
Instead of just what didn't he, why didn't he? Yeah.
aired out 110%, and the truth needs to be made as clear as possible, guys. Lava talks about how he joined Discord back in 2016
Wow,
and got pretty
that's a
good
fucking
at
wall
setting up
fence.
Discord servers with bots and how to use the app, etc., etc. And this was also he could set up servers to interact with his friends and communities, etc. Ava was one of the people who reached out asking for help setting up a server, so Lava did. But Ava never did or said anything predatory, and Lava stayed in the Discord because everyone was cool. They played games together, and over time they grew friendships, and after some time spent together gaming, things just blossomed, like just standard community type stuff. Lava then says that he was the first one to start making edgy jokes, and it was a time when that was prevalent everywhere on the internet, which we can all attest to.
It doesn't matter who started making the jokes. Chris shouldn't have joined in.
Things have definitely calmed down over the last couple years, for sure. 2016 was the Wild West. Doesn't matter how old you were. Shit was crazy out there.
That is true.
Lava even shared screenshots of his DMs with Ava. He also debunked some of the claims made by Prism, saying that the Coming for America picture was sent in a group chat with Ava's friend group. And Lava also reveals that the interactions surrounding Chris's collection stem from him making fun of his friends for being addicted to because it's a funny word. But he was never shown any 18-up content by Ava, and Lava says that the he got from Ava were actually just a bowl of ramen noodles, which I think is pretty obvious since Ava changed the word from in the original tweet to nudes, N-O-O-D-S, when talking directly to Lava about what was sent. It seems like it was a joke from the very beginning. Lava then goes in depth referring to the Discord conversation in Carl's server about going out into the middle of nowhere with Ava. This all stemmed from an annual camping trip to North Carolina that Lava used to go on, and the place that they would go to is about 2 hours from the Mr. Beast studio. Sorry, Mr. Brass studio. And they took the time to go visit, and Lava was there with his parents, who also got to meet everyone. And, you know, that's just kind of seems like a cool thing outside of the context of what the is going on right now. It's like a fan meetup, whatever. That happens all the time. Since Lava had been helping with Minecraft videos remote.
Yeah, but it's different, right? Because it's not really a fan meetup. It's a meetup with this one specific kid and his family.
While he was there, he helped record 3 or 4 more Minecraft videos and then left. This is where things get sort of kind of more bad when Lava starts talking about his interactions with Prism directly. So Prism reached out to Lava for an interview under the guise of it being for an editing job for a creator that wished to remain anonymous. He also offered compensation for the interview, but supposedly never asked for the context regarding the interactions between Lava and Ava, or if it was okay to publish the video. Prism also didn't ask.
Prism is obviously a piece of shit for doing this. Like, you don't do this shit. Like, if you want an interview with somebody, you know, ask for the interview. Don't lure them in with something else and then ambush them. That's just shitty.
Ask Lava any questions that could invalidate the claims that he made in the video. That makes it even worse, I think. When Prism said he was going to keep Lava anonymous, then he shows his name and Instagram page, which Lava has since had to private, which is incredibly unfortunate. Oh, and wait, let's not forget, we gotta wait till what Ava has to say about all this, guys. Let's see what Ava has to say. Let's see what defense Ava can come up with. Let's see if it's a good apology. We're excellent at reading apologies on this channel. If this was all that there was, I feel like I would be able to take a very respectful approach and just, you know, this is a weird thing. I'm probably not going to be that much of an Ava fan from now on because this is super weird. Obviously very odd, but the next bit of information that we have, in my opinion, is far worse and is, for my mind, incomprehensible as to why someone would want to do this. It has come to bigly light recently, apparently this has come out before I missed it, that Ava is a regular supporter of the online artist that goes by the name of Shadman. This guy has a pretty bad reputation. He joined a Swiss art school and was expelled because his art was so foul and considered illegal. He was even deemed a menace to society. How the fuck did that work? How do you get deemed a menace to society? Eventually, Shadman would go on to create his own website.
Well, that's easy. He probably just drew all of his teachers pregnant. And then started drawing, you know, pornographic content of the other students and likely other, you know, underage people, and that was that.
No longer available, fortunately.
You know, regular chat stuff.
And it could be
regular Shadman stuff.
You could buy some of it, I guess. Shadman became very well known online for posting lewd art, but what separated him from other NSFW artists is that he had no limit at all, which is bad, very bad.
Yes.
In 2011, he posted to his website an extremely lewd NSFW art piece of his own mom, and that's when people sort of began to see how insane this guy actually is. A few years later, in 2016, Shadman was requested by a fan to draw
The following part of the video we were literally not even allowed to put in. The UVR manual reviewers told us we couldn't. It is about Keemstar and Shadman. If you want to learn about it, go look into it. Shadman is a bad, bad man.
Yes.
Yeah. What's
Why is he
insane is
holding
that
a gun?
despite this disgusting and awful reputation that Shadman
Bro just
has
the AR-15
and
right
had
there.
for
Bro
a
just,
long
bro just
time,
came back
he
from the
still
Trump
grew
rally.
a fan base, and Ava appeared to be one of his biggest fans. Before Ava deleted all of her tweets, it was apparent that she was a big fan that often interacted with Shadman on Twitter, and a bunch of other YouTubers have kind of been shown to be interacting with this freak ass mother. Why?
He was a very popular person. A lot of people who were big at the time interacted with him in some way, shape, or form. Most people were kind of just telling him he was a fucking freak, though. But then, you know, some others were kind of like encouraging him to keep going and, you know, paying him for the shit.
Why, dude? First, Ava publicly admitted to owning a custom piece from Shadman and displaying it in her living
just
room.
weird.
By the way, credit for most of these tweets come from Adrox's video because they've been...
I'll be honest. Anybody who, like, purchases pornographic art and then displays it as a centerpiece, like, already you're fucking weird, right? If you then do that with a person whose entire career is built off the back of, you know, child pornography, yeah, no, you're double weird and should be on a watch list.
Been deleted. Ava completely scrubbed her entire Twitter. And I'm not sure if we can show this, but this is a tweet from Ava displaying the art that she got from Shadman. We can also confirm that Ava was very serious about the art because it can be seen in a video displayed on the wall. Even Jimothy Beast had it shown on the wall. Very strange. Very, very odd. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is sort of the beginning of Ava's bizarre and strange behavior on Twitter. From there, we have a tweet of Ava
I'll
saying...
be honest, though, in this video, if this was a higher quality, you'd be able to see that Mr. Beast looks at the thing and then his face just contorts into pure disgust.
It shown on the wall. Very strange. Very, very odd. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is sort of the beginning of Ava's bizarre and strange behavior on Twitter. From there, we have a tweet of Ava saying that they are disappointed in Shadman for not drawing Beast Boy art. Weird thing to say. Ava would also make some strange comments on a comic posted in 2017. The comic detailed two characters from Gravity Falls, Maybell and Dipper kissing. Already, this is an awful comic because those two characters are twin brother and sister. Ava would comment,
and
they're
also
twins,
their kids.
So at this point, it's just right. It's spelled incorrectly, and that's pretty gross. That's pretty disgusting, to say the least. Not something someone should be
like you should at least spell it right, you know.
Annihilated from the internet from, obviously. But like when you have a pattern of behavior for an extended period of time, and people repeatedly tell you how disgusting and weird you are, and you keep on doing it, at that point, it's like, oh, okay. Maybe we have a problem here. Maybe we need to check the hard drives. People say that jokingly all the time. I think this is a very valid point to do that. Check the hard drives. Shadman
hard drives,
and Ava Tyson, to be honest. In 2018, Ava would be seen
Shadman, like,
that they found Violet Parr cute.
We're talking about
strange behavior. One of the biggest connections between Shadman and Ava occurred in 2019 when Ava accidentally went to Shadman's website and shouted him out on stream, showing her continued support for Shadman's work. During that same year,
at least the picture that was there wasn't one of the worst, right? At least it wasn't one of the worst pictures that it could have been.
Just a few months prior, Ava was begging Shadman to draw a girl from an anime. Very disturbing. Very odd. Don't do that. And
There's
if I
so
had a
many
friend that I
layers
found
of
out any
why
of this
that's
stuff happened
weird as
with,
fuck.
especially the Shadman stuff, I'd be like, are you a sick... Like, what?
Yeah.
Can you explain it to me? So, yeah, and the Shadman thing does absolutely make the Lava Ava
just
stuff.
like, you just sit down with them and you go, brother, the fuck? What is this? What are you doing? I can't be seen in public with you if this is what your online interactions come down to.
Look substantially worse in a vacuum. Now, furthermore, though, back to Ava. Deleting all your tweets bad idea, including the ones we discussed. It's a very bad look. Now, Twitter justice.
Now
Okay, guys, let's talk about.
Now you're basically just burning evidence, right? Can anybody name the one time in history where somebody burned evidence and they ended up being innocent? Does anybody know the one time? Because I don't either.
The internet is a place of misinformation. There's so much going on all the time. There's allegations constantly, and over the last few days, allegations being brought against Ava exploded everywhere, and it's blasted all over Twitter. We've got Jake the Viking making statements. We've got Sneeko making statements, wanting to get Ava locked up in jail, and then just a few weeks after arguing for the age of consent to be changed.
Right message, wrong messenger, because he's also like absolutely a pedo. The only difference between Sneeko and Ava is that nobody wants Sneeko for real.
Changed, bro. Make up your mind, you freak motherfucker. Also, check out this clip.
Yo, just the craziest thing about Sketch is I'm seeing everyone's like, Sketch is one of the most genuine dudes ever. He's genuinely, I don't know why it's the new Twitch word. He's genuinely one of the most genuine guys ever. No, he's not. He lied to you about his life.
Okay, and your opinion changes every time another male enters the room because you're just so fucking addicted to other men's cocks.
So by that basis of logic, I would assume that Sneeko begins his relationships by telling people he lets his girlfriend.
All right, this fucking dude. You look like the guy who shot Trump, you know.
I just don't like Sneeko. Anyways, we'll move on. So
Bro had no argument. He had no argument. And by the way, no, the fuck he doesn't. He does not, in fact, resemble the guy who shot Trump. Let me see. Like, he absolutely does not, in fact, resemble him whatsoever. Like, see, Peril does not resemble this at all. You clearly see. My mic is fucked. Shit. God damn it. Sorry. I don't know how to fix it. The room echoes and I can't stop it from echoing.
This whole thing gained a lot of traction over the weekend and the last 2 days, and people
I need to like get stuff to absorb the sound in my room, like giant plushies and shit.
Talking about their interactions with Ava. One of the people who has come forward is Jake the Viking, prominent ex-Mr. Beast employee. Jake Franklin. He used to be a member of the Mr. Beast crew. He
the only person with testosterone in the group, let's be honest.
Appeared in numerous videos for about 4 months, and that was 4 years ago. Then he stopped appearing in Mr. Beast videos, and he made his own
way more just a few seconds ago.
Video explaining why he left.
I think it's just a matter of the mic that I'm using. Like if I don't talk for a while, it will kind of just increase the sensitivity, which causes it to pick up the echo. And then if I talk for a bit, it like lowers the sensitivity so it doesn't pick up the echo anymore. I've tried to make it not do that. Unfortunately, the headset that I'm wearing is one of those smart headsets that thinks it knows better than the user.
Been relatively quiet over the last
and
couple
I can't
years
afford to get a better
Ava
one.
Situation blew up on Twitter, and it is known that Jake was not supportive of Ava when she first came out a year ago. So it has been no surprise that he has been tweeting nonstop about the current situation.
Well, yeah, if you don't like them.
The culture war side of this, I really have no interest in being a part of. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. A lot of people are like,
the culture war side of things is completely irrelevant. It's just people being stupid about it. Like, might need a standing microphone. Yeah, but like the good ones are expensive. I have a throne where you guys can try and you guys can like help support it. I've got a Blue Yeti microphone there, which if I can get that one, that'd be awesome. But yeah, right now can't afford to just get a new one.
You're a pussy, dude. Why are you such a pussy, dude? Why do you have mutual respect for people, dude? Dude,
it's like
you suck, dude. I'm trying to minimize the amount of harm that I do in the world. Trying to minimize it. Okay, and partaking in the culture war and political nonsense makes me feel like I want to kill. So I'd rather be respectful and get shit on for being respectful than anything else. To be honest, because it makes
it's one of those things. I've said this before. The only time that the culture war becomes a problem. Actually, no. The culture war is always a problem. But like you see a lot of these people who absolutely fucking hate trans people for no reason, basically, and it's like The only time that all of that stuff about sexual identity becomes a problem is when you try to bring kids into it, because kids don't know any better, right? You could have just you can make a child believe whatever the hell you want them to believe if you manipulate them enough, right? If you drive your point home into the kid enough, like they'll believe whatever the hell you want them to believe. So you should absolutely butt the fuck out when it comes to kids. If they come to you and they ask you questions, just let them explain themselves, and the most you should be doing is help them reach their own conclusion. You should not be telling them what the conclusion is, ever. And unfortunately, both sides do that shit. You've got the anti-woke crowd who will just you've got this kid who's clearly, just confused because, this is a boy that finds other boys attractive and he doesn't know what to do with that. And then you've got the anti-woke saying, no, you're just confused. You're clearly straight, and all that does is hurt the kid. And then you've got the wokes doing the exact same thing to, straight kids. And it's completely fucked up because all of it just targets kids, right? The culture war people, all they do is target kids. They're both bad, both sides.
Feel like I can sleep at night. Jake's first tweet talking about Ava called her a bum, and ever since has been posting updates adding.
Mr. Beast's co-host went trans and abandoned his family to pursue a fetish. It's been like, what, a year? He's already being outed for chatting with a 13-year-old while in his 20s, sending inappropriate messages, etc. Yeah. Honestly, more and more the quartering went from a fun channel that talked about fun stuff to just exclusive culture war shit and like the most vicious commentary. He became such a hateful person over time, and it's entirely because of the community that it's entirely because of the community that he kind of fostered around himself. It's so sad to see.
His own commentary to the situation. Now, obviously, important to note, he is covering this situation intensely because he has a lot to gain from the
obviously,
from this.
everybody has a lot to gain from this.
And kind of take the side, Ava's disgusting. Let's, Jake the Viking, he seems like to know what he's talking about. He's got a lot to gain, so it makes sense. But one tweet in particular has blown up and opened a new can of worms, and Twitter has been running rampant with it. On July 22nd, 2024, Jake tweeted, "Jimmy knew," implying that Mr. Beast was somehow
of course
complicit
Jimmy
with
knew.
Ava and knew of her actions.
Look, we're not talking about any crimes committed. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about a very obvious propensity that this person, Ava Chris Tyson, had for liking, lolly hentai, basically. He had posters of it up in his house. Of course, everybody knew. This isn't something groundbreaking. Of course, everybody knew. The tweets were public, my guy. Yes, Jimmy knew. You knew. Everybody who was around the guy knew. The only difference is now everybody else knows as well, and people are making their opinions very, very known, and they should. And I think that if Chris gets pushed out of the content creation space, which he should not be allowed in the content creation space because the vast majority of, the vast majority of the audience in this space is children. Therefore, if you have an attraction to children, you shouldn't be allowed in here, especially not as a creator. So it's like, and if he tries to come back, the reaction should be the same. It's like people should push him back out.
And still kept her around. So, since this, people have been running with the idea that Jimmy knew, and people have been going back through looking at Mr. Beast videos and his catalog, trying to find and prove this, but nothing so far concrete has come out aside from Mr. Beast being in a live stream and Ava comes up and says the N-word, which is just like, hello there, I'm from South Carolina or North Carolina, or just says the hard R live on stream. That's so Southern, dude. And not even really, I mean, that's like dumb to even lump all people below an imaginary line in with a racist or whatever, I guess. I'm not sure. The most that's come out in regard to the whole Mr. Beast he knew thing is a screenshot from a video in which Mr. Beast is seen looking at a shadow.
Untrue, this is potentially Chandler. You'd have to find the original video. Okay, this is a pretty good picture. Like, that is not the face of somebody who's comfortable with that picture being there.
Adman
Like,
poster
I'm sorry.
hung up on Ava's wall. Admittedly, this photo does show that Mr. Beast had at least seen Ava's bizarre behavior.
The guy knew. He probably didn't like it, but like,
about Shadman or knew the context behind it, because I mean, it's perfectly reasonable. I don't believe Jimmy knew or anything like that. I don't think this is some big evil cabal. I think that Jimmy actually is a good guy. And
I think he knew, but I don't think that that makes him malicious in any way. Because, like, that's his friend. Yeah, he's got this weird fucking kink that he has with the fucking drawings that he, you know, jerks it to, but it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna get involved with that because I don't want to have that conversation. And I've had friends where it's like, it's not to that extent. But it's like, I've had friends where it's like the guy keeps fucking lying, and I keep telling him, dude, you can't do that. It's going to come back to bite you. And it always does. It always ends up negatively affecting them. And then they'll blame me for it as if it was my fucking fault. But it's like, yeah, I completely understand how most people wouldn't want to have the conversation of, hey, dude, you can't, this shit's fucked up. You shouldn't have this. You shouldn't use this. Don't do this. Like, stop doing this. You're fucking weird.
And I don't believe that
most people don't want to have that conversation.
With maleficence,
I completely understand it. I
think
Jimmy knew. I just don't think he's a bad guy for not doing anything about it.
So it's hard to believe that Jimmy did know in some way. But at the end of the day, it's impossible to really know. Jimmy seems like he's very dedicated and focused on YouTube and changing the world, and Ava is not. Ava is focused on completely different things.
Yeah, like little kids.
It would make sense to me if Jimmy had no idea, and that, you know, that Jake and Ava and all this, they're just complete and total outliers. But yeah, if Jimmy knew, Jake probably knew too, right? I don't know. According to this employee named Dawson, he claimed to work for Mr. Beast for only a few months this year. And in this video, Dawson claims that Mr. Beast has known that Ava was a liability for quite some time.
Of course he
cannot remove her from the team because she has threatened legal action and she apparently knows too much. So I don't know. There's no proof. Trust me, bro. And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything Mr. Beast has done.
This is gonna get fucking heated. This is gonna get intense. I can't fucking wait. I like Mr. Beast. I think he's done a lot of good shit, but like, if it comes out that the guy's been fucking eating babies this whole time and like bathing in their blood and making fucking blood sacrifices to demons from hell to get super big on YouTube and have all this influence, like, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be insane. That's gonna be actually goated.
So far, it's just a fun
goated content.
Oh, Mr. Beast he's the eyes wide shut. I don't know. How much can you learn from working for just a few months? And I don't know. Mr. Beast has been pretty public about defending Ava. It seems like on the Twitter, on the twit, and after the Sunny V2 video, even, which in my opinion was done poorly, and I did defend Ava in that video. And you know, knowing what I know now,
yeah, because you weren't defending her for being into kids. You were defending her for being trans, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with defending somebody's identity when that identity is getting attacked for no reason, right? So this whole, I feel silly for defending her now, it's like completely different situations.
Now, and the whole Shadman thing, I didn't do any research into that. I wish I would have. I would not have taken that stance, to be honest with you guys. I came at it from a basic human respect sort of perspective, and that is a naive,
but it's a completely understandable perspective.
Also, people have been shitting on me on Twitter for not covering this. It takes me 2 days generally to make a video. Very rarely can I turn around one in 24 hours. We'll do our best, but it's probably not going to happen. And it's not because I don't want to talk about this. It's not because I'm trying to defend someone just because they're trans and I don't want to upset the LGBTQ community. I don't take sides. I don't do anything like that, guys.
Not the type of video that he makes.
I like people who are good people, and that is the end of it. And if you like Shadman, you're not a good person. If you have a wife and kid and you're talking inappropriately with minors, you're not a fucking good person. Okay?
Yeah. It's a very simple equation. It's really just an if-else statement.
What? By the way, while recording this video, Ava responded with a non-apology, which I love to see because it's not good. It's bad. It's a terrible response.
It was a terrible apology.
Glad there was a response, unlike Cody Ko. She apologized for her past behavior, comments, and announced that she would be permanently stepping away from anything related to Mr. Beast, which is good. And I guess Sunny V2 was totally correct. Well, not totally correct, but The title was correct. This was a mutually agreed upon decision. She'll be spending her time focusing on her family and mental health. Hey, focus on not buying stuff from Shadman. How about that? I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations is Lava GS. They vocally supported
This is not a good thing to say, by the way. He should not even have addressed it. This whole thing of saying, I didn't groom anyone, the child that I groomed says that he didn't get groomed. It's like that's what he's saying here. She's saying, sorry. That's what she's saying here. Like, this isn't a good argument.
They are false. That is true 110%. Lava, spoken to him. I can guarantee you that. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by.
To those who may feel betrayed, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
How I used to act online. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad, edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I've learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I
Your behavior did extend beyond bad, edgy jokes because you incentivized someone who was drawing pornography of kids. So yeah, it did extend beyond that. Therefore, the only disgusting thing in this equation is you.
Can continue to
fucking
work on
weirdo.
I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who
but they're gonna.
True. Okay.
But they're gonna. Like, absolutely, they're gonna. You had years to, clean up your image and, cut that shit out permanently and, like, actually, take the steps to no longer be involved in that shit. But apparently, you just kept going. So, this whole, I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast. Yeah, well, maybe you should have thought of that literal years ago, right?
The response to this announcement is not.
If you hurt or offended anyone, crazy start. See you never. Hope your ex-wife keeps you well away from that kid. And she should. Like, honestly, if I was the ex-wife, first thing I'm doing, I'm taking all of this to court and I'm getting a very serious restraining order. You're not coming near my kid. Disgusting, should be in jail forever. Well, no, he hasn't committed any crime yet. Told you so. Shut up, Sneeko. You're apologizing. You're saying all the allegations are true. This is a stupid thing because that's what the statement appears to be suggesting. I hate this whole, oh, you're apologizing. That means it's true. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. This is a stupid ass argument. Like, straight up, you dumb. Omni, Inferno Omni, you a dumb bitch. Straight up, you a dumbass bitch.
Not positive at first.
And shut up,
glance, with
Sneeko.
many people calling Ava or calling for imprisonment, and that includes calls from people within the
This is just more anti-woke shit.
LGBT community, because there are
the gays against groomers thing. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, I understand why it's important to actually band together and specify that, like, we don't like it when somebody uses our identity and tries to force it on kids, but, like, this group specifically, they've done so much that makes it feel so, like,
reasonable people
weird.
in any community.
How it just feels like that group specifically, it just feels like they just don't like trans people.
Being a part of any community doesn't
rather than that
just
they're against
automatically make
groomers.
you unreasonable.
So weird.
Yeah, man, I don't know. All these people saying Jimmy knew. Did you not know? Like, this is so confusing and weird.
Yeah.
And as with all of my
Because,
videos,
like, if you and the thing that Jake said, like, Jimmy knew. Okay, how do you know that Jimmy knew? Because you also knew. So why didn't you say something before, right? It's
I'm
hypocritical
excited
and
to see
stupid.
your guys' responses down below. By the way, while this video is being edited, a lot more stuff has come out, and Mr. Beast responded and cut ties 100% with Ava, Chris Tyson, and said that there's going to be an independent party investigation into everything.
Mr. Beast really said, "You don't quit, I'm firing you."
So that's good. Mr. Beast's response is 5 times better than Chris Tyson's response. That is for sure. In conclusion, Ava Tyson is a degenerate and probably shouldn't be on the internet or in any way interacting with minors or children, to be honest.
Absolutely.
You know, Ava, bust out the uke, make a real apology.
Make a fucking apology video with the ukulele. Oh my god.
What? Apology not accepted.
Pretty much. Shut up. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good time with that. Wait, let's just This whole thing is terrible and awful, and I hope that we get to the bottom of this, and I hope that we figure out whether or not Jimmy actually knew and just how much Jimmy was involved with. But yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Now we can go on to Tectone reacting to a 2-year-old video about Shadman. Little bit of a lighthearted thing more than the Chris Tyson thing, but I like Tectone. I think he's a funny little guy. He's everybody's little bro.
Okay.
And he's bald. So
here we go. Since I've done a purely drama video. While videos about ongoing situations like this one used to be the bread and butter of my channel, in recent times I've taken a slightly different approach to focus on more internet history rather than ongoing stories.
Yeah.
So consider this upload a return to form.
Wait, this is Turkey Tom? I heard about this dude the other day, and I was making fun of this dude's goofy ass name. I was like, Turkey Tom, Pasta Pete, Pickle Pete.
Do you not like turkey?
Yes, somebody said, have you ever heard of Turkey Tom? And I'm like, what? Am I in New Jersey asking around like I'm a mafia boss? Goofy ass name, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
1 year ago, I released a video about someone who you're likely already familiar with.
Yeah, everybody knows who Shadman
in LA for assault with a deadly weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that in a couple of videos,
Shadman got arrested.
Saying that all Shadman made was child porn. It's
no.
actually not true. Once again, they definitely do still make.
It's not all he made, but it is the thing that made him like grow so much. Like it's the thing that he made, right? It's not all he made, but it's the thing he made.
That shit. But there's another video of them making this nun who has to go repent for their sins, and then they go to a confessional box, and then this other nun goes on the other side and shoves her ass through the window, and then the other nun has to pull out the anal beads, then eat her asshole. So just want to get the old facts. Get the old facts right here, guys. Why do you know this? Because somebody sent that to me with that exact same message. So I got educated yesterday.
Fucking what?
Of all the things you'd be charged with, I was not expecting this, although he is crazy, right?
As one of the original faces of the Newgrounds community, Shad first
I forgot about
controversial artworks, branding himself as a man willing to draw what no one else dared.
Why the fuck? What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is bro looting Mewtwo? What the fuck?
Because Mewtwo got the thighs, bro.
Who wants to fuck Mewtwo, bro?
And willing to draw
Internet weirdos.
what no one else dared. No joke was off limits for Shad, and as a result, he also became a figure for free speech
Shit
in
was
the online
fucking
world.
weird.
When his website,
Free speech, my dick and balls,
was removed.
Man, he's so based. Man, he's so based for drawing child porn. Holy God, this guy's so epic.
Basically.
Internet service
so
provider.
Cool.
A large portion of the community came together to defend his right to freedom of expression, including YouTubers like Elvis the Alien.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing about Shadiversity
a number of
respectful.
contract jobs for him on his YouTube thumbnails.
People, mostly Shad-based, ruined the
versions
Incredibles.
of popular characters to draw in.
Okay, but like this is like, here's the thing. If this was all Shadman did, it'd be fine.
Viewers. What I suspect
the
Elvis
problem
didn't
is
know at the time, or at least
the other
what I
stuff,
hope he
right?
didn't
Motherfucker
know,
was one of
is
the
that
best
the
animators
reason
of all.
his
You
website was
died of
taken
cancer.
down
Yeah.
is also the reason that his ISP dropped him. Shad had been drooling over 12-year-old actress Daphne Keene in Discord messages, and shortly thereafter decided to publish a piece of artwork
that shit was
of her being
fucking
did by her co-star Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. News of the art's existence reached back to Daphne's management, who promptly sent Shad a cease and desist.
Oh, I didn't know about this. You know when when you learn about something and then it retroactively makes all of your memories slightly better. It's like, this like made everything that I knew about Shadman after this moment feel just that much better, knowing that he got dick slapped by by Hollywood lawyers for doing the shit that he did. Oh, that feels so good to know.
As a result, he was also dropped by his website host.
Yep,
Holy shit! Look what I found here. All right, people ruin everything. Thumbnail, Shadbase. Your movie sucks. Shadman ruins everything. Here, look at this tweet right here. All right.
Weird out, very weird. But I'm in full support of your website and the people that demand this art that I'm personally critical of.
Elvis
What?
the alien. This was after the legal shit. He says weird art. This is in 2017. Weird art, very weird. But I'm in full support of your website staying up. It's
I don't like. Here's the thing: the website wasn't like forcefully taken down. That's not what happened. The website was taken down because the people keeping the website up realized what it was being used for and said, "Nope, we want nothing to do with you," and so they just took it down. So it's like, absolutely, the website should be taken down at that point.
People that demand this art that I'm personally critical of.
In 2017, it was commonplace to defend Shad, even for behavior like this. It was as recent as 2020.
Okay, but like the whole, you know, cosplaying the character. The character looked badass. Like, let's be honest. And you know, Belle Delphine looks like a kid, so she'd absolutely be Shadman's type.
That popular e-girl, Belle Delphine, even did a scantily clad cosplay of him, showing that he still had people openly admiring him, fangirling him, and defending him.
Belle Delphine doing this is not fangirling for Shadman or admiring Shadman. This is purely just her taking advantage of something that is popular and, you know, putting on a mask and bikini and you know, selling her product.
A lot of people were openly fans of Shad's art and even his brand, either ignoring or fully embracing the more unsavory parts of his life. Because, hey, he's weird, but he's not that bad. Right? What kind of...
Yeah.
No, he's
not that bad.
That bad.
He kind of is, yeah.
Like, he is kind of that bad. What the fuck?
Audience is he looking to attract? And what kinds of things does he want them to say about the subjects of his
drawings?
On an unrelated note, here are some images of Shad's fans getting the underage people depicted to sign his artwork. Show Shad stating that he'll be rewatching the film alone so that he can once...
Bro, why is it so hard to just draw adults in 2024, man? I don't get it.
Exactly. It's like, how is it hard to just not, you know, lewd kids?
See his girl, Daphne Keene. While some have shed doubt on the veracity of these messages, it's hard to believe they're not real when only 3 days later, Shad posted an 8-image set of the actress being brutally molested onto his website. She is depicted severely beaten, scarred, and covered in urine. At the time, she was only 12. Yeah, he is that bad. And for some reason, no one had put the pieces together. Today, it's very rare.
You ever, like, never hear about something and then you realize how happy you were to have never heard of it? Also, if this is Shadman, I guarantee you there's a reason why he wears that fucking mask.
Oh, yeah,
he's probably pretending to be some fucking Giga Chad alpha male, but I bet you he looks stupid as fuck.
That is correct, actually. That is absolutely correct. Tectone fucking read him like an open book. Shadman looks like... Shadman actually looks like the Trump shooter.
That you'll see someone openly defending
but like
the
wimpier
brand,
somehow.
With the most having realized how truly disgusting his history is, and instead deciding to drop any prior defense they'd made of him. The Shadman name went from that of an internet provocateur, complete with SS-inspired uniform, to that of a man who had been using freedom of speech as an excuse to profit from an audience of creeps.
Exactly.
Shadman has been known for drawing pornography of real-life children in multiple occasions, including actors like Daphne Keene, the young girl in Logan, LT Corbis, who was known as Soph and then quit YouTube, who was 11 at the time, and Keemstar's daughter, who I believe is...
Okay, that fucking photo. That photo just caught me off guard. That fucking photo. Oh my god.
7. All of this behavior is inexcusable, and for an incredibly long time, Shadman's behavior was excused.
I mean, let me explain this for you here, guys. Now,
man, that's so funny.
How can he profit off of doing shit like that? Well, okay, have you guys ever seen whenever I shit talk lolly porn?
Yeah.
On stream? And
there's a lot of creeps online. Oh my god, Eggy, so cute.
So many people get. Yeah, the
cute
lolly community is fucking huge.
Yep.
Now, once again, I'm not saying that liking lolly porn makes you a pedophile.
I am.
Right? I don't think people that like lolly porn should immediately go to jail.
I also don't think you should immediately go to jail. I just think that, you should know that, that's what that makes you.
However,
and I've said this before, but like the philia, right? The attraction of, like sexual feelings directed towards children. There's nothing here that says that if the the children are cartoons, then it doesn't apply. Like lolicon shit is like, it's a kid. The only reason you'd find that attractive is if you like kids.
I want to quote somebody else here. If you like furry porn, right, that's probably because you like furries. So if you like lolly porn, well, what do you think that means? If you like gay porn, then you probably like gay people, right? But,
yeah.
Once again,
he probably misquoted the fuck out of that. But like, if you're a dude and you like gay porn, you probably like other dudes. If you like furry porn, you probably like, the furry shit, right? If you like porn with women, you probably like women. So if you like porn with kids, why would that not apply? Like, obviously you like kids, so it's fucking weird.
I'm not saying that everybody who is a lolicon is a pedophile.
I am.
But probably a lot more likely to be one. Does that make sense?
Excused by everyone in and around his friend group.
As of the release of my video, Shad's relevance had already faded for some time. The internet has changed a lot since his heyday, and his production of content had slowed down considerably. But it would be in 2021
yeah, because he started actually like getting sued.
His true sense of despair.
Wait, 2021? He was active still?
Began to show. The following is going to contain a lot of rumors and basically hearsay that has come out about Shad as of recent, so you're welcome to take much of this with a grain of salt.
Right. Fallout? That's that video game I like.
Spaz Kid was one of Shad's strongest defenders back in the day, coming from the same area of the internet and having years of friendship.
Discord things were in his Cancerous public server, and for context, I'm pretty sure it's just risque jokes, of which he's probably taken too far. He's dumbass for doing that stuff, but he's not that much of a dipshit to court children and do weird shit like that. Yes, he is. We know he is. He has. What are you talking about?
Friendship with him. It appears the two have had
Just
a
block me
falling
instead of
out
muting,
from a
you
Twitter
pussy.
thread
Nope.
from October 2nd.
Like, never block, always mute. You want to know why? Because if you block, they can go to your profile, see that you've blocked them, and then they screenshot that and make fun of you. If you mute, all they know is that, you stopped giving a fuck about what they say, and so they're left just fucking screaming at the void. No!
2nd of 2021.
Yeah, this is just
Why
cringe.
does Spaz Kid sound familiar?
This all begins with Spaz Kid asking,
Can I Google this name? Or no? Yeah, why not? Okay.
Oh, boy.
Looks like it's just a dude. Oh, this is Newgrounds. Damn, this shit was fucking old.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this shit when I was in like fucking high school, bro. Damn, this shit's a throwback. What the fuck?
Shad why he muted him. Shad then responds by telling him to burn in hell. Spaz then calls him a pussy for muting him, and then indicates that the two were in the middle of a conversation when he was actually muted. Shad says that he is ignoring his friend, which is where we get some real substance to the conversation. You're a fucking idiot. Keeping up your stupid facade and higher-than-thou persona, no one cares. Hypocrite alert,
bro
and attached here.
You're more. I'm trying to get through. I'm being genuine when I say I can't stand the stupid meme shit you do. I've never liked it or thought it was funny. Trying to get through to you adults who lost.
Is a screenshot of a conversation.
Guys, it's a joke. It's do you have no sense of humor? Like, I get that I drew like the kid with like fucking 3 adults on top of the kid, but like, come on, it's a joke, guys. Do you have no sense of humor? What a fucking creep, dude.
Spaz Kid. I'm being genuine when I say I can't stand this stupid meme shit you do. I've never liked it or thought it was funny. I'm trying to get through you adults.
Seriously,
who lost all sense of humor and take the internet seriously. Like fucking peasants. Fuck off. Spaz
Bro,
Kid.
screw
When you're
like
done,
the way he texts, by the way, that's just fucking like, I'm sorry, that's the worst fucking way to text. Like, one word to spam it out, especially like I know people who do it that way, like they just talk really fast or they type really fast and then they just type 1 or 2 or 3 words and then they send it, so that they're basically just overwhelming the text message, and so there's no way that you can keep up with them in a conversation, and so they feel like they won the argument by basically just spamming you out, and then they always refuse to do that, to try and talk in like a voice call, because they know they can't do the same shit because they have wimpy ass voices.
Follow me back, DM me, and we can
bro.
have a real adult conversation. I'm gonna finish taking a nap. It seems that this adult conversation never took place.
Yep.
Spazkid and Shadman are no longer mutuals on Twitter. What this was going to be about can only...
Do you know what's crazy? When in the year 2044, when the president's no longer being mutuals and quote retweeting each other's presidential campaigns, is going to be compared to and considered serious beef. And
That'll be funny.
Newsworthy on the internet.
That would be funny.
But it is
like
worth
the president and vice president start beefing until they just unfollow each other on Twitter.
that they likely never made up after this. Shad has also spoken negatively about Chris being ONEMG and Corey being Spazkid.
Corey, okay, like his dad and dog interact. Okay.
Since the occasion, those following Shad's life have been remarking on his accompanying schizo post for some time. What appear to be genuinely incoherent ramblings from someone who is...
Bro, he is smoking through the mask. That shit must stink so bad.
Said nothing of substance or with any discernible meaning for some time. At first, people took these for simple jokes, but with the frequency, many suspected that something was up. He even changed his bio to not important.
My name is not important.
Oh my
his
god.
bio to...
Wait, this is the guy from Postal 1, right?
On Kiwi Farms, forum users commented on his apparent deterioration. I had to look through his Twitter timeline, and it seems like his mental health has been spiraling for at least a year.
Good.
His posts have been somewhat nonsensical, and at times he's been sort of shedding the persona that he built up. I don't know if he started doing drugs or what, but clearly something happened around the end of...
For sure he has. Like, you can't just do all of the bad stuff and then just like, no, dude, like, you don't get it. Like, I don't do, like, no. Like, I only do, like, the meme stuff. It's like, nah, fuck off.
Which is culminating now.
Ain't no way.
On October 16th, news came out that Shad was allegedly addicted to opioids. This was mostly gossip built on the foundation of images Shad had posted to his...
Okay, I'm going to ask you crazy questions, and it's going to show my innocence a lot. Chat, what the fuck is an opioid? Can anybody explain that shit to me?
It's just opium-based drugs.
What does that mean? Drugs, okay. And what do these drugs do? So he's addicted to painkillers. Why is that a bad thing? They make you feel good. Drug you.
Yeah.
Make you happy. Easily abused. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
His own Twitter.
It's opioids are basically anything that's painkiller related almost.
Of his room, which, to be frank, does look like a messy crack den, but that doesn't prove anything on its own. In addition to this, pictures of Shad's face were also released
Wait, was that...
But that doesn't prove anything.
Oh, comment comp. I was like, what the fuck?
Thing on its own. In addition to this, pictures of Shad's
being
face
based
were also
post
released
2020,
and people began making fun of his appearance.
These parents, you know, I cringe, lol, not trying to get this video taken down for
little it resembles his drawings and carefully crafted persona.
Yeah, like he would draw himself as like this super buff dude, like with just the forearms exposed and the muscle on his arms and all that shit, and smoking through the mask, and like, bro, was just an absolute giga chat. And then IRL, he's like the skinniest motherfucker out there. Opioid is not just painkillers, I know, but like when somebody says, you know, opioid addiction, usually you can assume that they're talking about painkillers, because the few that aren't painkillers, it's like it's something else, and they usually specify what that is.
Much of it, I tweeted this out, not really caring whether or not it was true, because firstly, it kind of reads as a joke, and secondly, even if it is believed and somehow not true, I don't really think the guy deserves a break. Shad then tweeted out, "Turkey Tom addicted to my cock. What a slut."
That's a good comeback. That's a good ass comeback.
What the fuck?
That's a good ass comeback, I'm just saying.
Being an opportunity, I did what I felt was right.
Correct. Better comeback. Honestly, Shadman hit back with a good comeback. Turkey Tom hit him even harder. Like,
that'll do it.
Yep. I feel like Turkey Tom won that one.
Shad responded to many of his own replies, seemingly upset about what I had said, even asking one person, possibly in jest, for my address. This was not the first time Shad had tweeted about me. He had once remarked that my future didn't look too good on Twitter, and I suspected that he was talking about me in private. I was
Damn,
right,
no shit.
with one content creator tweeting a screenshot of him mentioning me in a conversation that had nothing to
You're
do
more
with me.
entertaining to Tom, essentially. I've only seen 2 of your videos a while back. You're just going.
Received a long message from a creator who
Wow.
I consider trustworthy regarding
Kind of
the
have a
subject.
heart
Okay,
for
I'm gonna ask another
Tom.
question. Chat, what the fuck is OVO? I'm gonna need somebody to let me know.
It's just
what,
OO.
what does that mean?
It's just-
Drake's company.
It's just OO.
Drake Click, Drake's brand. Okay. All right, Drake's label organization. Okay, great.
Of Shad. I'm going to keep their identity
It's
private,
just,
but
oh, wow.
I'll read out some of the most important parts
It's
here.
just
What
being
triggered me
cringe.
to finally watch your video was getting some of these schizoid DMs. I'll spare you the DM reading, it's nonsense. Just a
Right.
smattering of random art from his past, unrequested. Doubt you want to see that.
Yeah,
Looks
no
like
one
he's
does.
just going through old
That shit's
photos
weird.
and wants people.
Like, there's some of the stuff that he would make that was okay, but like, it's just so weird. Like, people tried to say that J Lullaby was just as bad, but like, at least J Lullaby draws adult women, you know?
To react to them, and that's because his work has dried up, and he has no serious income outside of the internet,
Yep.
which you sort of need to pay rent in LA. But if you want my personal
And by the way, like, I'll say this a million times. If you're a content creator, why the fuck are you moving to LA unless you like have a big business deal there? Like, if you're like going to a podcast, if you're like going to Impulsive or some shit, like, sure, go to LA, but don't fucking live in LA. What are you doing? The price of living there is like so much higher than it needs to be. Live somewhere else. You're a content creator, for fuck's sake. Just literally live wherever the fuck you want. Live somewhere where you can afford to be.
opinion, knowing the
Weirdos.
circle of people he turned against, and the kind of work people like him see.
But yeah.
Also, the fact he's done favors for no one. His outburst is due to money issues and a dying audience.
Yep.
Porn
Here's
illustrators
what I
are getting
genuinely don't get. Why the fuck would anybody live in
Tax evasion is
LA
apparently
to be a
very easy there,
content creator
so
and
I've heard.
stream on the internet?
The thing is, tax evasion is easy everywhere so long as you know the right people, right? Like, because here's the thing, you don't want to actually evade taxes. You want to pay your taxes so that you can use all of your money and not have to worry about it. The thing is, you want to pay as little taxes as possible. And for that, you don't need to be in LA. You just need to have a good accountant. Being in LA is just like completely stupid.
Internet. So let me get this right. You're gonna spend
Getting slaughtered by Twitch and
$5,000
OnlyFans.
a
Yup.
month in rent for a 1,000 square foot apartment, so that way you can use the internet alone in your room, bro. These VTubers who live in
So
LA
fucking
are
stupid.
so fucking dumb. It's
Correct.
ridiculous.
Bro, like, I'll be honest. You want to know how much I pay for rent? 100 euros. That's it. That's my rent. I pay 100 euro rent. Why? Because I live in a fucking apartment that my parents own. Like, just live in your parents' house, dude. If you can't do that because of whatever, like, just pay your parents' rent. Do whatever you can to reduce your fucking cost of living. Why the fuck are you like going out of your way to make your own life harder? It's so dumb. Like, don't fucking live in LA, one of the most expensive places you could live in. It's so dumb. Not to mention the quality of life in LA is garbage.
It is fucking ridiculous how fucking dumb they are.
Yeah.
Like, just move to Austin. It has better internet, lower prices for cost of living, and all the same level of connectivity as far as goes for content creator collabs. It makes no fucking sense.
Slaughtered by Twitch and OnlyFans in pandemic
So
times.
stupid.
There isn't enough support cash to flow around for all of these new people. Hell, there aren't even really conventions for them to cash in on anymore. Drugs, however, continue to flow like wine in LA. He's likely on pills, like a lot of content creators.
That's
but
also
I
a
just
thing.
keep calling it heroin anyways, because it's funny. Shad had previously taken a step back from the internet to focus on some industry work, which I guess would
industry
be paying pretty
work.
well if it took him away from
Just doing
online
thumbnails, I
commitments.
guess.
However, based on how things are going now, my theory is that the work has either been completed for some time and he hasn't gotten any more, or word of his online activity led to him losing the job. A lot of people have been saying that Shad's art is and always was bad. It kind of happens when someone is hated.
Bad.
Everything they've ever done is pulled into the category of disgusting and
Like,
terrible.
see,
and I get the sentiment, but
this
I
picture
disagree.
isn't a
Shad
bad
is
picture,
clearly
but
a
like,
talented artist
yeah.
in some respects, outside of the shot.
The problem
Yeah,
is what he would
drew a
choose
lot
to
of
draw.
Normal ass shit.
Yeah.
You know, he really did draw a lot of normal ass shit. That being said, he still made a lot of fucked up shit. It's like we can just lie and like make someone seem worse, but like Shad's already bad enough as it is.
Yeah,
so
you don't gotta fucking do that.
Guy
Like, here's the thing.
worse.
If you misrepresent reality to make your point, you're not like, you know, doing something bad for the greater good. You're not like a dark anti-hero. No, you're just a lying liar who's lying. That's it. If you lie to make your point, you've lost your point. You're just lying.
That's why it's fine to talk that Adolf Hitler was a painter, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to say he sucked at painting.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler, you know, he, you know, we know he wasn't a good painter. Like, we've seen the paintings, he was okay, right? But from a professional point of view, like he was just bad. I'm not gonna pull it up because I really don't feel like it right now. But like you could see like the perspective was all off, right? But you know, he liked animals. He was apparently very good with his wife and very good with kids. You know, kids loved him. You can say that and still understand that he was a complete piece of shit who led to the deaths of millions of people. Like the two are not like it's not a paradox. It's not an oxymoron to say that both are true.
To get the fact, we get that Hitler's bad. We don't
Yeah.
need to lie and say he was bad at painting too.
Yeah,
like we
it's
don't
like
need to
stupid.
say that. You know what I'm saying?
Shock value, he's decent at drawing. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he decided to put that second to his weirder tendencies, and now appears to have lost a lot for it. Up until this point in the story, things had gone basically how I predicted. Shad was losing relevance, Shad was sad about that, he was in a dark place.
Is that Toph naked on his wall? Oh no, that's Zone 10.
As a result of
fucking
losing
weird.
his online fame, and as a result, he was spitefully tweeting about me and messaging people about me because he's a very sad guy.
Yeah.
I was wrong. It got worse. Shadman
How
had
did
been
it get
inactive
worse?
on Twitter
Oh,
for a
right,
few weeks,
the
missing in
arrest.
action. But on November
Oh, that was
11th,
in
news came out that
2021.
he was
I thought that was
arrested in Los
pre-COVID.
Angeles for assault with a
Damn.
deadly weapon. This was
Jesus.
complete with court booking documents confirming that it was indeed him.
For assault with a deadly weapon. Now, I don't really know what to say here.
Why do you do
that?
Because he's stupid.
You know,
That's
Connor
it.
told me this, right? Now, the charge level is a felony, by the way.
Yep.
Of all the things you'd be charged with, I was not expecting this, although he is crazy, right?
As for his current status, many instantly assumed that
Drugs
he would
and
be
stupidity.
incarcerated for a considerable amount of time. However, according to legal documents, he did make bail. One forum user gave some interesting personal insight. The way it works in California is that if you can make bail and you are no longer in custody, you can then be 5150'd for 3 days and 5250'd for 14 days after that. This
The fuck
happens
does
when
that
people
mean?
have a
Fuck, does that- am I
psychotic
supposed to
break
know what that
or are
means?
stupidly high on drugs. You are no longer in law enforcement custody at that point, so all public records show you as released. Instead, it is a medical hold, and all records about your status, including that you were even 5150'd at all, are sealed under privacy rules. When you're
Oh.
finally released from the medical hold, there is also no
Oh, okay, so that means you
notification
go
to anyone
crazy,
since it's
okay.
still private. If you're trying to
Interesting.
avoid attention, it's actually a good way to keep people in the dark about your status. The cops usually do this out of genuine concern for the welfare of the accused and the welfare
Sure.
of the public. However,
Sure.
they can also do it as an added way to fuck with someone. In practice, what happens is that you silently vanish from the jail and are discreetly hauled out to the care facility. Many speculated that, at
Okay,
least for the
that
moment,
makes sense.
Shad was in one of these mental health facilities. Although, he recently came back to Twitter to announce his own release. Meanwhile, the news of his life
Stupid.
falling apart and the events around it would continue to permeate the internet, as did the memes.
It reveals that the
Shadman staring at the black tar heroin on the table.
31-year-old has reportedly been booked under Section
man.
245, which under the California
Drawing
Penal
that
Code
shit at
carries
31
charges
is
for assault
insane.
with a deadly weapon.
So depending on how severe it
What
was,
did he say?
California Penal
Drawing that
Code
shit at
carries
31
charges
is
for assault
insane.
with a deadly
Drawing Genshin? Is that what he said?
weapon. So 45, which under the California
Drawing
Penal
that
Code
shit at
carries
31
charges
is
for
insane.
assault
Oh,
with a
drawing
deadly
that shit
weapon.
at
so
31.
depending
Oh, yeah.
on how severe it was, if
That's
they
fucking
have
weird.
charges, if he takes a plea deal or whatever, yeah, he could go to prison. He could go to California, Los Angeles
Yeah.
prison for 4 years. What a fucking nightmare. An absolute nightmare. This tweet, by the way, I guess I'm the one that broke the news to Twitter.
I feel like if he went to prison, he'd probably do okay there by just drawing, lewd pictures for the other guys there. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure he draw something and somebody would recognize him, and that would end up with him getting shanked in the shower for drawing kids.
It was some complete random. He registered to the site just to post this information from Unicourt. But this has like 7,000 likes, 17,000 likes, 7,000 retweets, which is like crazy.
What the future holds for Shad is unclear. My guess is that he will continue to fade into irrelevance as he tries.
So here's what I'm getting. So Shadman is a deranged lunatic who draws child porn. Okay,
yes, as to coast off of whatever part of him was on.
That's about right, actually.
4-year-old shitposts. Shad arrested, Chris Chan in jail, and Ron in 3- and 4-year-old shitposts.
Shadman in court trying to draw the judge having sex with Lolly before he's sentenced to 30 years in jail. Hiya, Maggie. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about Shadman.
Lotax has passed away. It appears that the year of the cow has come to pass.
The year of the
on
cow?
a more personal note, it is kind of sad to think about. Imagine being over 30 years old with very little chance of getting any kind of industry job. Your connections have pretty much dried up. You are basically broke. And your only claim to fame, your only legacy,
is drawing child. Made some girls for the first time. Turned out pretty good. I fucking love
to draw children being raped on the internet. A sad, sad fate.
Yep.
Shadman, more like sad man. Guys, don't we feel bad for him?
No.
Meanwhile, his only defenders will be people like Stamper TV, who type some very unhinged shit in their community tab on YouTube. And really brace yourselves here, all right? There are some stunning defenses, all right? He makes some really great points. He makes some really great arguments. And honestly, after them, I expect people to be real quiet about Shadman. Let me tell you what I think about Shad, so you can shut the fuck up already. I have nothing but respect. If the wants to shoot people for a living, he probably has a good reason. Hands down, one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
I doubt that.
And live.
I mean, look, if you've only met like 2 people, and one of them was a serial a serial sex offender, and the other one was Shadman, like sure, by that metric, yeah, Shadman's the better of the two, but like I feel like it says more about the people you hang out with than about Shadman if you say this.
With for a long time. Get a life of your own for a change. It's genuinely creepy and pathetic how hard you sneak around, digging for potential gossip to spread. Let me put it this way.
That shit
Oni
weird.
would shoot his own mother in the face if $1 was involved. Fuck that twice.
Bro, stop saying the N-word. What's wrong with you?
Now, if you'd excuse me, I'm going to go back to being pathetic, snaking around, and digging for potential gossip to spread. And
everybody
by
loves
the way,
gossip.
This is the last time I'm going to talk about Shad in a video publicly, unless I really have to. I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.
All right, see you, Titty Tom.
That's insane.
Bro, subbed.
Good ass video, man. Okay,
Yeah, it was a good video.
hey, we learned a lot, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so deranged.
Correct.
Drug abuser.
Correct.
Violent.
Correct.
Child porn creator.
Correct.
And also probably ugly because he wears a mask. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, you can look
Okay,
up
now
his.
we know the
You can look up what he
lore
looks
of,
like.
Chris-
Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm looking him up right now. Shadman real face. Like like yeah, this him. Wait, you guys can't see it. I'm stupid. Because I'm not showing my thing. There you go. See, this is what he looks like. It's like yeah. He's not cool. He's pathetic.
Chris Tyson's favorite human being. Awesome.
But anyway, everybody knows that Shadman is pathetic, and now so does TechToad. So, Techie, I hope you enjoyed learning about internet history. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Cheers. All right, so last video of the day, and then we're actually going to play some video games. But the Yasuke disaster, Ubisoft's nightmare. more and more shit is falling apart at Ubisoft as the Japanese government is now starting to crack down because of the historical inaccuracies in Ubisoft's latest Assassin's Creed Shadow. And now, why is this a problem, right? It's a video game. Wait, let me fix. I gotta fix my fucking. Why is this a problem, right? It's a fucking video game. Who cares, right? Wrong. Because they present the game as being mostly historically accurate, right? And so when you do that, and then most of what you're saying about in the game and most of what you're presenting is inaccurate or outright false or outright a deconstruction of what is real and true, and you're talking about the history of a country that takes its history very, very seriously, you're going to get in trouble. And that trouble is going to be very, very fun to watch from an outsider perspective.
All right. Today's an interesting one because today we're talking about Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, historical revisionism, and the Japanese government. There's more, a lot more, but the hook is that a wildly popular gaming franchise, that being Assassin's Creed, after a series of very unfortunate decisions, is actively being accused of cultural invasion.
Yep.
A problem that an official representative is now bringing in front of the Japanese Diete, which is their parliamentary government. His name, the representative, is Satoshi Hamada, and I'll get to that part later on, but the gist of it is that an entire historical narrative was crafted over the span of about 9 years, only to now be heavily disputed at the expense of a multi-billion-dollar franchise which attempted to build its latest entry almost exclusively off the back of a highly suspect body of work. In essence, Ubisoft has made their next entry in the Assassin's Creed franchise the focal point of a brewing international scandal. Great job. This is where I have to go through a sort of narrative arc, so to speak, and give the underlying context of the situation before expanding on how it all exactly fell apart. Assassin's Creed is one of the top grossing video game franchises of all time. It's not.
Yeah, okay. It's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's in the top 10. Yeah, sure. Okay.
The top 3 or the top 5, mind you, and it pales in comparison to franchises like Pokemon or Mario. But having surpassed 200 million copies sold with $4.6 billion total revenue, it's one of the most successful entertainment properties on Earth with no signs of slowing down.
Yep.
Just to highlight that point, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the latest entry before Shadows, which is the one we're talking about today, sold over 20 million separate copies, making it the highest grossing entry in the series, period. As a franchise, like
not to mention all the microtransactions and shit.
Fan of the original trilogy with main character Ezio, Assassin's Creed is more successful now than ever before.
Honestly, though, like, as successful as the franchise is, I think it's fucking disgusting that it's, like, the poster boy for microtransactions in single-player games.
Making it a focal point in the video game landscape as
Ubisoft
Ubisoft progressively increases their marketing and development budgets year after year after year, with notable success while doing so.
Yep.
Sure, they have their failures at times, but Assassin's Creed isn't one of them, and barring any sort of unexpected consequences, this latest entry, that being Shadows, would seem very likely to continue that trend.
Yeah.
Maybe. For anyone who isn't already aware, Assassin's Creed Shadows is set in feudal Japan, which really isn't surprising at all after a game called Ghost of Tsushima basically copied the formula and sold almost 10 million copies over 4 years.
I don't think they copied the formula. I think it had a lot more in common with something like Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. But, you know, there were very clear inspirations taken from Assassin's Creed for Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, so I can understand why that would be stated.
As a PlayStation exclusive, people have been asking for a game about feudal Japan. Ubisoft have progressively expanded their repertoire of locations for the franchise, and all things considered, it seems like a perfect time for the franchise to make that jump. However, if you're going to make a Japanese-themed game, you probably shouldn't piss off Japanese people.
Yeah.
And that's where Ubisoft...
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the weirdest things. Like, you're making a Japanese fucking Assassin's Creed game, and then one of the main characters isn't Japanese.
Epically dropped the ball.
It's so weird.
In May of 2024, Ubisoft unveiled the official trailer for the game, and pretty much immediately...
Not to mention, like in all previous Assassin's Creed games, you didn't play as historically significant characters. You played as random people that weren't in the history books, which makes sense since you're playing as either one side or the other of a secret society, right? So is like it makes no sense for you to play someone that is known in history. Was Ghost of Tsushima made by Westerners but beloved by the Japanese? Yes, because it was incredibly faithful to the story and the culture, and so the Japanese fucking adored it. Funnily enough, the SJWs on Twitter fucking hated it, which was always it's always interesting, and yet the same SJWs who hated Ghost of Tsushima are gurgling Ubisoft penis, even though the Japanese actually are really disliking this game
Immediately after
and everything they hear
started
about
to
this
get
game.
a little bit weird. The story was set to feature two main protagonists, one male, one female, like before, but the male protagonist was determined to be Yasuke, who is, quote, the first black samurai and referred to elsewhere as the first foreign-born samurai as well. This is where the controversy starts, because according to an interview with game director Charles Benoit, conducted in Xbox GameWire, quote, we're at the end of Sengoku era, in a turning point of Japan history. Assassin's Creed is well known for its depiction of the history and accurate recreation of the world, and it's what players can expect with Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're showing real historical figures, such as Oda Nobunaga and a lot of events that happened during that time, so you're not only playing in feudal Japan, but learning about this fantastic time period. Also, we're giving the opportunity to the players to live not just one, but the two best fantasies of Japan, the samurai and the shinobi.
Yeah, except you're, playing as a samurai that even at the time, he was, the only thing we know is that he was an attendant of Oda Nobunaga. Now, we know that attendants would, sometimes carry weapons and armor and own houses. And so they were practically samurai in their own right? So as much as he might have functioned as a samurai, nobody looked at him as a samurai. Like, this is basically the samurai were the knights of Japan, right? Of feudal Japan. They were their knights. They were nobility. When this would be like if in Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is set in a fantasy version of medieval Poland, you were playing as a black guy. It would be completely out of the setting. It would be so silly to do that.
End quote.
It would make no
On
sense.
its face, that's pretty good. However, opinions rapidly took a turn for the worse when the true atmosphere of the game started taking shape.
Oh my
examples
god.
like this cropping up from the gameplay trailer and getting plastered all over online messaging boards and social media.
Not while I have breath in my lungs and a blade in my hand.
Trap music. Not to mention American trap music behind Japanese-esque themes. It's so stupid. It's this idea that every black person is African American. And yes, I've dealt with people who genuinely believe that, who will come to Europe and look at somebody of dark complexion and say, "Oh, hey, look at that. An African American." And it's so stupid. Would he not have made better shinobi due to natural camouflage? He was said to be significantly stronger than any other samurai of his time, even by like actual. There's only like 4 or 5 excerpts that we have from Oda Nobunaga talking about him. But like the reason why Oda Nobunaga gave him weapons and armor in his own house was because Yasuke, and this is something that is well established throughout history. People of African descent tend to be very physically strong, whereas people of Japanese descent, especially in feudal times, when there wasn't so much traveling and so much mixing of the genomes, were much smaller and not as physically strong. And so the result was a man, Yasuke, who was sold as a slave in Japan. And if I'm not mistaken, Oda bought him and made him his attendant because Yasuke had the strength of 10 men, basically. He was the strongest man in the city wherever he went. So he made him a swordsman. He made him a warrior. He made him his bodyguard. Like, that makes sense. This isn't somebody who should have been the main character of an Assassin's Creed game, especially not the first Assassin's Creed game that is set in feudal Japan. People wanted to play as a Japanese samurai, not as Yasuke, for this game. I do think that it would have been absolutely awesome if they had made a fantasy game set in feudal Japan where you played as Yasuke. I think that would have been kick-ass. I don't think Ubisoft would have been the right person to do it because this is the result.
For anyone who didn't notice there, the background track is basically hip-hop infused Asian battle music, which absolutely does not match the time period, the atmosphere, or the subject matter, except for one
DLC like in Tyranny of King Washington and AC3. Well, to be fair, the Tyranny of King Washington and AC3 is stated to be a universe where the Apple of Eden corrupts Washington into being something that he never would have been otherwise. So, like, all of the arguments about how, oh, it's historically inaccurate, oh, it goes entirely against the character of Washington, yes, that's the point. He has been corrupted by the Apple of Eden. And throughout the whole story, the Apple of Eden makes him think that he's in control when he's really not.
Skip over the smaller stuff here and get
like
right to the
that's
main
the whole
issues,
point of the
but
story.
the
So I
general
think that that's
consensus
different.
around this game began to rapidly sour, especially in mainland Japan. See, Yasuke, the main protagonist and the quote first African samurai, has rapidly ascended the rungs of popularity.
God, Assassin's Creed combat just gets worse and worse with each generation, doesn't it?
Yasuke is the subject of a Netflix animated series now. He has multiple media mentions. There's a Broadway show about him even, slated for 2026. And he also shows up in other video games as well, like a boss fight in Neo 2 called The Obsidian Samurai.
That's actually badass.
And pretty much all of that recognition.
But like, I think it's okay in Neo because Neo is clearly fantasy. Like, there's no historical accuracy in Neo. The most is that, you know, people show up who have some amount of historical value. But like, Obsidian Samurai, and he's just this fucking giant carrying a great sword and just overpowering you completely. Like, okay, that's badass. It's like, that's fine.
The Obsidian Samurai.
You know, when you're trying to make a title built on historical accuracy, you can't be doing this shit. And as much as they're trying to say now that they weren't trying to make it historically accurate, they absolutely are. That is absolutely the point of Assassin's Creed. They want it to be at least partially historically accurate. They kind of deviated from that in Origins and Valhalla. I think it's called Valhalla. Assassin's Creed, is it Assassin's Creed Valhalla? I'm never sure. But they tried to deviate from that to go more the fantasy side of things, and people didn't like it because people like when Assassin's Creed has some amount of historical value.
That recognition stems from a particular historian. A historian named Thomas Lockley. This is where things get strange. Pretty much every modern Western mention of Yasuke tracks back directly in some capacity to Thomas Lockley. For the prior examples I even gave myself, the Smithsonian article referring to Yasuke as the first black samurai quotes Lockley directly, referencing his book, and that very same book, released in 2019, is the basis for almost every modern depiction of Yasuke that I could even find.
Yep.
Thomas Lockley is the premier historian associated with Yasuke, but the incredible popularity of Assassin's Creed and the anger at inaccurate portrayal of Japanese feudal society has kicked off a controversy that may undermine Lockley's entire body of work, as it forces Ubisoft to openly apologize and causes a never-ending debate online about whether or not Yasuke was ever even really a samurai. Just to get this out of the way.
Yep, the Japanese government, from what I understand, is actually going in depth and actually studying and bringing up as much history as they can to try and figure out who Yasuke really was.
Right now, I don't personally have a stake in all of this. Assassin's Creed, to put it very bluntly, has never been tied to reality in my mind, and for a perfect example.
That's stupid. That's a stupid argument to make.
Example, we can look at Assassin's Creed 3, which conveniently took place in revolutionary America. Yeah, I don't actually think that the half-Mohawk Indian assassin fought side by side with George Washington.
Oh my god, the whole point of it isn't that you're playing as a real character. You're playing as a character that this is an alternate universe, right? Where most of the things that are happening are what happened, but then there's also the assassins and the Templars trying to control things from the shadows. That's why you play as somebody who isn't historically established.
Washington to recover an alien object. I'm not going to sit here and complain about historical accuracy. when the entire franchise is about a secret league of athletically superpowered time travelers fighting another secret society over extraterrestrial artifacts. Frankly, the fact that Yasuke existed as a sort of blank slate historical character that was in fact a real person, but we don't know all that much about him, kind of makes him perfect as a narrative blank
It really
canvas,
doesn't.
especially when he existed in close proximity to significant historical events. However, that's my personal
He would have been much cooler as a boss fight in the game.
opinion, and when it comes to Thomas Lockley, personal opinion goes entirely out the window. Hopefully everyone can follow along with this part. I'll do my best to make it as straightforward as possible. Yasuke, increasingly popular in Western media with growing recognition across entertainment properties, didn't always hold the same level of recognition. Right now, if you go to his Wikipedia page, there's a pretty sizable entry, but back in 2014, the entry was just a tiny fraction of the size.
Right.
Except, if you go to the edit history for his Wikipedia page, you find something very interesting, and that is a
it's all by
particular
Thomas
user
Lockley.
named Totori Tom, who has made sizable edits to the page, the sources, and the information contained within it. From one of his larger edits, quote, "This is the second in a series of edits I will carry out following a study of his life and times. All will be properly referenced when I get the chance." End
Yeah.
quote. And if you look at the actual profile of Totori Tom, you see, quote, "Totori Tom is Thomas Lockley, a faculty member at Nihon University College of Law."
Basically, he made an essay, and then instead of referencing it properly, he just edited the Wikipedia page
Tokyo, Japan,
and referenced his
interests
paper.
are primarily Japanese history related, end quote. That may seem innocent for the moment, or insignificant rather, because any profile on Wikipedia can write anything it wants in the bio section.
Right.
But Thomas Lockley is listed on the Nihon University faculty page, and the account Totori Tom was adding his papers and his book as page sources before the work was even published. Here's where it gets really strange. Speaking to Time magazine discussing the life of Yasuke in reference to the Netflix anime series, Lockley had this to say, quote, "There's no record, but tradition holds it that Yasuke was the one who took Nobunaga's head to save it from the enemy." Continuing later, "Yasuke, therefore, by escaping with the head, could have been seen and has been seen as changing Japanese history." End quote. That's no small thing. He acknowledges, in the briefest of ways possible, that there's no actual evidence, but goes on to say that Yasuke has been seen as changing Japanese history.
Yeah, by
However,
who? You?
if you look at the Japanese version of his book, not the English version, it holds an entirely different atmosphere. Please understand, I don't speak Japanese, nor could I find someone who can translate for me at this particular time, so I used Google and various different transcription tools.
Okay,
These are
let's
highly
see.
imperfect, but the differences here are so profound, I don't see how they could possibly fit together based purely on mistranslation by Google, so here it is.
All right.
If you're capable of a better translation, please feel free to drop it down below in the comment section. Quote, "According to a family claiming to be descendants of the Oda clan, Yasuke is said to have smuggled Nobunaga's head and sword out of Honaji Temple to prevent them from falling into enemy hands." Further down, there are several problems with this theory. First, no source, whether Yasuke was involved or not, mentions where Nobunaga's head ended up or not. Froyce's letter is the only source that mentions Yasuke's participation in the battle, but it also makes no mention of Nobunaga's head. If Yasuke had brought the head back to Nanbanji, Froyce would have mentioned it. Second, escaping from the middle.
That's actually a very good point. The idea that no one talked about it is a very, very big tell on whether or not something is real. There is the chance that it wasn't talked about at the time specifically so as to, spare Yasuke from suffering reprisals and to spare the Oda clan from being, pursued, but it's still sketchy.
Of a burning temple surrounded by many enemy soldiers would have been extremely difficult without the added task of carrying, in addition to one's weapons, an incredibly large and unwieldy object, a human head. End quote. That is a very different tone than what he puts forward in Time magazine. When publishing for a
In Time magazine, he basically states it as a fact that, yeah, he did this, whereas in the Japanese tome, he states that some people say it, but there's no evidence. And then he reinforces that there not only is no evidence, but it is a very difficult feat to pull off.
Japanese audience, he expresses that it's incredibly unlikely to be true and highlights his own doubt about the subject matter.
Yeah.
But when talking to a Western audience, he says that Yasuke, quote, has been seen as changing Japanese history. Hopefully, everyone can kind of see the problem. As if that's not enough, and the tipping point, at least for me, on Lockley's own credibility, in May of 2024, an article and interview in the Japan Times was published pertaining to the controversy around whether or not Yasuke was ever even a samurai at all, which said, quote, most telling to Lockley, however, is that no reputable Japanese historian has raised doubts about Yasuke's samurai bona fides, including Sakujin Kirino, who served as a fact checker for African samurai and is one of the country's foremost experts on the 1582 Honnoji incident, for which Yasuke was believed to be present. That's a very big deal.
Yes.
One of the country's foremost experts on the 1582 Honnoji incident, and he was a fact checker for Lockley's book over the authenticity of Yasuke being a samurai with no disputes. That's pretty important.
Yes.
Except it's a lie. Sakujin Kirino publicly on Twitter published a statement.
Get that out of the way. When the Japanese version of Nobunaga and Yasuke, based on the original work by Thomas Lockley, was published in 2017, the translator, Yoshiko Fuji, asked me to read and give my opinion, so I gave a few opinions. It was just that, and it wasn't something as grand as a fact check.
Read, quote, when the Japanese version of Nobunaga and Yasuke, Oda Publishing, based on the original work by Thomas Lockley, was published in 2017, the translator, Yoshiko Fuji, asked me to read it and give my opinion, so I gave a few opinions. It was just that, and it wasn't something as grand as a fact check, end quote. After which the Japan Times updated their article, removing the claim by Lockley that Sakujin Kirino had served as a fact checker for African samurai. One is a fluke, two is a coincidence, three is a pattern. Thomas Lockley appears to have been editing the Yasuke Wikipedia page as far back as 2015, citing his own work, which had not even been published yet. He appears to be telling different versions of historical events, at the very least portraying them in radically different ways, depending on his audience, Western versus Japanese. And he appears to have directly lied about the authenticity of his book, using an appeal to authority, as it's called, by claiming a certain expert fact-checked that work before the expert themselves had to come out and clarify that was not true, really. One is a fluke, two is a coincidence, three is a pattern.
Yeah,
just in case for anyone still on the fence, here is Lockley in his own words discussing the book that he wrote. Shout out to Vast Establishment on Reddit for discovering this particular interview.
This new book of yours might read to many like a novel, but to my understanding, you're not a novelist?
No, I'm not. I did originally write an academic book of this, which was published in Japanese, and that was, I think, 2017. So the book which you would find in front of you, African Samurai, is a much more
why is bro stuttering so much?
Readable version, less academic, far more narrative, though it's still based on the exact factual history. It's just simply not full of references and other things like that.
Just to recap that, he says, quote, the book which you find in front of you is a much more readable version, less academic, far more narrative, though still based on the exact factual history. However, later on, when the host, Jingyi Lee, who's a PhD candidate cultural historian of 19th century Japan, go figure, questions the biography, referring to it as more historical fiction, he replies by just brushing it off immediately.
And as we talked about earlier, many may read this book as a novel because of, well, apart from...
If he had just stated it was a novel and then tried to put it off as, real texts and reality and historical fact, I don't think any of this would have been bad. Because if he had just said, this is a novel, this is based loosely on the idea of Yasuke, who, we know existed. We have these 5 sentences in the writings about Oda Nobunaga. So we know he existed. And so I've written this novel about him. The way I imagine the story might have gone with him, it would have been absolutely fine. And then Assassin's Creed Shadow would have been based off of this character, not the real Yasuke, the character as portrayed in African Samurai, written by Thomas Lockley. It would have been completely fine. But this really all just comes down to the fact that Thomas Lockley really wanted to portray himself as an expert on Japanese history, and so instead he just really wanted to just add a character that really didn't belong in it.
the very specific historic background. There's also a lot of depictions of the characters' I guess inner development. But its category on Amazon and Goodreads is biography.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I feel like it's more of a historical fiction. So, how would you define the nature of this book?
Well, there's very, very little there which is actually fiction. There are various scenes which were added because we knew that they might have happened. There's one scene where Yasuke is watching a hawking session, and we know that Nobunaga was almost obsessed by hawking and hunting with birds. So
Yeah.
therefore, it's highly likely. I mean, we can say probably we're 99% sure that Yasuke would have seen that. So we did make up the occasional scene just to give a little bit of atmosphere.
He's like Neil Druckmann of historians. That is such a good way to put it. I am at a loss for words. That is just such a good way to put it. Thank you, Maggie. You should be proud
I
of
should
yourself for
clarify
that
here,
one.
Thomas Lockley, in the aftermath of this new scrutiny, seems to have fully deleted all of his social media profiles. He has distanced himself entirely from the controversy, but the controversy is not done with him. Posted by
boy.
Satoshi Hamada as a serving member
Bro
of the
tried to
House of
run away.
Councillors in Japan, which is the upper portion of the Diete, though he seems to be more like a fringe candidate than anything else, rather than a central figure. Quote, "We're looking for your feedback. We were consulted by a French game company about a historical alteration of Japan.
Yeah,
The content of
Ubisoft.
the consultation is shared below in images. We have also quoted a post that appears to point out the problem with the game in question. We would like to hear your specific requests and opinions." Further down, "Thanks for the information about Assassin's Creed Shadows and Yasuke. Keep
Yeah.
your research focused. Primary source information on Yasuke, Yasuke information in Thomas Lockley's book. Please request the National Diete Library to investigate this matter. Secretaries of Satoshi Hamada's office."
Wait, that's pronounced diete? I would have said it's diet. I would have just read that National Diet Library and I was like, I had read ahead and I was like, National Diet Library? What the fuck?
There it is. Ubisoft, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, has decided to focus a portion of their newest title on a character named Yasuke. But Yasuke, despite many people vehemently claiming that he was in fact a samurai, is not the subject of historical consensus. Many experts believe he was merely a retainer or a servant or some form of lesser caste, while others, namely Thomas Lockley in particular, assert that he was not only a samurai but a legendary samurai that was, quote, been seen as changing Japanese history, end quote. Meanwhile, Ubisoft, presumably relying on his work as one of the narrative pillars here, given that the game centers on Yasuke as an active samurai who participated in a lot of combat routinely, and Thomas Lockley is the only person pushing him forward as a hero story from an academic perspective in Japanese history, has now had to issue an apology that reads, quote, "We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters," end quote. And yet, this is the same company.
Yeah, but you claim that it's historically accurate
once
to a
again
degree.
referencing the Xbox GameWire interview that said they are showing real historical figures.
Yeah.
So you're not only playing in feudal Japan, but also learning about this fantastic time period.
Exactly.
Why would you be learning from things if they're telling fictional stories? Like, this doesn't jive. To be perfectly clear, I can actually see why they chose a narrative blank slate for the purpose of storytelling. I don't personally look at Assassin's Creed and think, where's the historical accuracy? But when you make a game about a certain culture...
But it should be grounded in historical reality. It is a historical fiction, but it should be grounded in historical reality.
Which Assassin's Creed has routinely done. Why would you choose the only example of a samurai who isn't even agreed on as being a samurai?
Oh, because he's black. Like, because he's black. That's it. That's the reason. Ubisoft suffers from something that is very American, even though they're European and French, which is this idea that diversity consists exclusively of whatever is not the majority, right? So in America, that would be whatever isn't white. And in Japan, it would be whatever isn't Japanese. So they have decided to include this level of diversity in the cast of the game, not because it would make the story better, but because it would add to its diversity. And because it would add to its diversity, they have decided that it is better for the story and for the game, even though it really isn't. And all it does is piss off the Japanese customers, which the game should be treating as the target audience. Yasuke should not be the main character. The main character should be a fictional Japanese samurai that they create to be the protagonist for the game so that you can play as that character, you can have your own character, you can make your own decisions, and then, Yasuke shows up and he's next to Oda, and, maybe you see him fight and he fucking ragdolls everybody who comes anywhere near him. Or, hey, you try to fight him and he's this absolute monster who you can barely keep up with because of how strong he is, but you eventually beat him because you're just the better fighter, and he's, I don't know, man. There's so many other ways that this could have been done without, the forced diversity angle. It's just sad.
Cringy hip hop filter over that culture's.
Also, yeah, the
Why would
the
you
hip
make
hop
it so
was
that when
just cringe.
Assassin's Creed is finally set in Japan, you don't even play as a Japanese warrior half of the time? Instead, focusing on an outsider who brutally slaughters real Japanese samurai all over the open world, when every single previous Assassin's Creed game focused on a character that actually related to the culture of origin. In the Revolutionary War, the assassin was half Mohawk. In the original trilogy, Ezio Auditore was Italian. In Valhalla, Ivor was a Viking, etc., etc.
Yep.
Why are you breaking that trend now? At the end of the day, the Yasuke disaster is the story.
Because, and this is the thing, they're not looking at Yasuke as the African samurai. They're looking at Yasuke as the African American samurai. That's why there's hip hop. That's why he's got all sorts of things that honestly don't relate either to Japanese culture or, let's be real, African culture.
Story of a historian who centered his entire body of work on portraying a little-known Japanese figure as some sort of legendary hero, twisting his words all over the place depending on who was in the audience at that particular time. And Ubisoft went and made half of a AAA game about it. In response, scholars, critics, regular players, pretty much everybody online has been weighing in on whether or not his character was ever really a samurai, whether or not he should be the main focus of the game, and why Ubisoft might have made all of these creatively baffling decisions in the first place. But at the end of the day, I don't really have those answers. My opinion, Ubisoft wanted to score some diversity points.
Yep.
That's really just what it boils down to. Yasuke happened to fit a pretty convenient narrative template while also scoring them those diversity points, and allow them a real historical figure who stands out dramatically in feudal Japan.
Damn, she got
some
cooked.
of the wrong reasons, if you take this controversy at face value. And they use that as their starting point and unwittingly rope themselves into a culture war for all of the wrong reasons at the worst possible time, as people accuse each other of either rewriting history maliciously or being viciously racist, depending on which side of the political aisle you're on. That's it. That is the Yasuke controversy explained, and none of it will likely impact the game at all, which is almost
the game's gonna suck no matter what. Like, we saw plenty of combat. Like, Assassin's Creed combat is so, like, pathetically kidified. It's ridiculous. Like, you'll be surrounded by 4 guys with swords, and 3 of them will stand still and just watch as you pound the 4th guy into sand, and they'll kind of just stand there drooling on themselves, just like, it's like, bro, do something.
More, becoming wildly successful.
He's fucking up Billy. Help Billy.
That's
do
just
something.
Kind of how the world works now. But now you know the story.
Yeah.
If you want to support the channel, there's links down below. A special VPN deal. Everybody could use that for those interested. Patreon and locals if you support what I do and want to financially support future videos. And more, but I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything, and have a nice night.
Yeah. The whole Yasuke thing is just... It's just them trying to score diversity points, even though, they would have scored those diversity points just by, making a game set in Japan with a Japanese character. As is, it just feels like they're pandering, and they're pandering to all of the wrong people, because they're pandering to a very small subsect of people who doesn't even play video games. So, with all that being said, make sure to give Upper Echelon some love. But I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, and cheers. And now, finally, it is time for us to play a little bit more of Fallout London. We're going to London, lads. Should we be going to London? Yes, obviously. Obviously, we should be going to London. I do think it's funny that like the first weapon you're given in Fallout London just so happens to be a knife. I found that like just a little bit entertaining. Hope we got a license for that. Post-apocalypse, you know, I don't think there's any cops around to, you know, enforce that. If there are, well, we're right fucked, aren't we? I literally have a knife on a stick, though, so it's like, what are they gonna do? Alright, we gotta go back to Thames Haven. I will say, one of the worst parts about Fallout 4 is how long every single loading screen just has to be. And this isn't even a Fallout London thing, like Fallout 4 had the same loading screens. Super freaking long. What? Is he outside? Climbable ladders in the Bethesda game. Yup. And all it took was somebody else making them.
Nothing like a swim in our Thames to make you feel alive.
All it took was somebody other than Bethesda making it. Okay. Right, auto walking isn't a thing in this game. That's a New Vegas thing.
Do you smell that? It's the Thames. Good to see your friendly face.
Wait, I keep forgetting to do this. There you go. Subtitles. Have you recovered?
Not entirely. But I'm sick of that infirmary. Now I need to get out on the open sea. Feel the wind on my face. Well, then I'll get better.
Archie says he can have his gun back.
The boy's stubborn. If he's going to survive in this city, he needs every advantage he can get. He'll need to pick up a gun sooner or later. You can have it. It's not much, but it's reliable.
Alright, need to take Archie back to cross the Thames.
I have no objections. Truthfully, it would be good for my conscience. There are places north of the Thames where a boy could live a normal life. The sanctuary at St. Paul's would take him.
Bro, I can barely hear him over the sounds.
Though I'm not sure why you need.
Why would it be good for your conscience?
Whether I like it or not, the boy became my responsibility. If I could find some good people to take care of him,
So
I can wash my
he
hands.
just wants to not be responsible for the kid. Makes sense. I'm trying to find the live he escaped from. Need you to take him to the dock where you found him so you can retrace the steps.
That makes sense. While I was
Alright.
lying in my sick bed, getting through won't be easy.
Why did the Hooligans take over Bermondsey?
I suspect they're using it as a staging ground for raids. Bold of them to set up shop so close to.
How hard can it be to open the gate?
Getting through the gate should be easy. It's safe. You'll need to provide us cover fire. The button that opens it is upon that crow's nest. You can reach the button by lowering. The way up is via a makeshift bridge.
So, ooh. Yeah, I can't really do much in terms of armoring. But I do have blacksmith. Hey, buddy. Okay, so God damn it. No, 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 no.
Gets louder and louder each day.
Man, the rats on the water are brutal. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Got them. Ow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We got them all. I hope. So now we come to this computer here. Lower. Alrighty. And there.
Thames Haven, you are my pride and joy.
Alright. Right in the boat time.
I'll have to drop you off at the embankment. On the other side, there's a store.
Ooh.
With the hole in the Thames barrier, it's too risky to transport the three of us across such choppy waters.
I think I'll switch back to this one. The damage difference isn't so much, but the speed
I'll pick up Archie, and we'll meet you at the dock.
Might be the thing that makes the difference. Whoa. Yeah, get those violent hooligans. Kill them all. Protect the peace. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. Protect the peace. Murder all these violent hooligans. I will say, so far these missions are way more unique than anything in Fallout 4.
Now the nearest route is Tower Bridge. Watch out for the beef eaters.
The what now?
They're cannibals. They'll eat anything that tries to cross.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them eating anything. I'm worried about them eating anyone. Oh well. I'm sure we'll be fine. Where's Churchill? He's fine, probably.
What was that?
Let's get around here. Oh wow, they cooked me. Roasted my shit. Jesus. God damn, this is on normal difficulty. Oh, hey, Churchy. Fuck. Didn't mean to take that. Crap. No, 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 no. Damn. I'm getting cooked, dog. These violent hooligans. God damn it. Fucking bitch with the fucking Molotovs. Whew. I do not have stim packs.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Huh. Hey, Churchy. You can have this. Oh, it doesn't show. Okay, let's look at all the stuff that we got. So we got this crude gun. A tactical hair trigger crude gun. Quick hair trigger crude gun. You know, I don't want I do not want automatic weapons at this stage. It would just... all it would do would be waste ammo. Also, I think the currency here is those metro tickets, which is kind of funny. Also, I need to check out what the button is for grenades. It's mouse button 4, huh? Alright. I ain't hiding, you're the one up there. Did you know today's the day when I water my plants? I did not know that, no. Oh. Are you... wait, you're calling me a plant? Alright, give me a sec, let me go grab some water. Alrighty. So, first sip. There you go. Second sip. There. Third sip. All right. Third sip. Fourth sip. Oh my god. Okay. Fifth sip. Fifth sip. There. Are the UI colors customizable in this? Yes, they are. I just like it in green. Sixth sip. Ugh. Alright. Seventh sip. Ugh. Eighth. Ugh. Ninth. Oh my god. Ugh. 10th. Please no more. Ugh. Good plant. Oh my god. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, god. That's just from water. Yeah. This looks nicer. Goddamn. I guess I could probably, like, 1 second. Blue. Blue. There. This feels more London-esque if it's blue. The green was very Fallout 3-esque. It's important to keep an eye on the ground, make sure we don't step on any traps. We do not have that. Oh. Balls. In your jaw. Oh, fuck. Yeah, bitch. A cricket bat. Oi! Bitch ass. You think shit cool like this? You think it's cool to fucking shoot my dog, bitch? Bitch ass bitch? Bitch? Don't fucking hit my dog, bitch. Really like a place to rest, so I don't have to spend any resources. But I'm thinking that ain't gonna happen. So this takes me up, huh? Alrighty. Let's go up.
Just wanted to
Eat these nuts, bitch! Oh, even the locks are more UK-esque. It's pretty neat. Any NPC selling Mirelurk and chips? No, but they do have fishing chips. I picked some up, and I ate them. Actually, I'm not sure if I ate them. I've been trying to like not consume my healing items too much, because I don't have a lot of health yet. And damage reduction in Fallout 4 is trash. Like, whereas in Fallout 1 and 2, you could get as much damage reduction as you wanted, and eventually you could even be immune to damage. Or, you know, damage from certain weapons, like you could reduce damage taken to 0. In 3 and New Vegas, you could reduce it to 80%. So you take 20% of the damage, and then, you know, flat damage reduction would take it even lower than that. Or actually, no. You'd have flat damage threshold, which would reduce damage as low as 20%, and then you'd have percentage damage reduction, which would reduce it even more. And then in this one, you just have damage reduction, and it never goes beyond half the damage. Like, you can never reduce the damage you take by less than 50% of what it would have been. Let me change this a little. Okay, that's actually a lot better. A lighter color. Yeah, I like that more. Always keep an eye on the horizon, but also, you know, make sure you're not walking past something. Frag mines? Well, not frag mines, plural. A frag mine. I guess that's where we're going. Let's go check it out. What is that symbol? We're close to it. I want to check that out. That lion on the map, on the compass, I mean. Tobacco dock. Hmm. Oh, it's safe. Hey yo, how's it going, Ale? That line looks like the Dutch royalty coat of arms. Thoughts on the mod so far? So far, it has better mood setting than anything Bethesda's ever put out. The missions also feel far more unique. Fifth column.
Fine day for it, ain't it?
Sure.
Britain awake from slumber.
St. George? Who the fuck are these guys?
How you doing?
How am I doing? I'm confused. Oh, X is the auto walk. Church of found an enemy. Where? Yeah, he a good dog. Feels far more setting appropriate than Fallout 4's dog meat. That looks like it's been groomed and cleaned up. Whereas that looks just like a bloodied dog that's kind of been surviving, same as everything else. Tower Hill Station, huh? We're almost about to level up. I'll probably get the gun nut perk so I can modify this thing in my hand. Make it a little stronger, make it maybe put some more rounds in the mag. Well, it's a revolver right now, so it doesn't have a mag. It has a... It's not a barrel. Drum? Chamber. Right? No. What do you call the thing in a revolver where the bullets go? Cylinder. Is it a cylinder? Alright, that. A gatherer. Alright. Fucking shit, this gun sucks cock and balls and tits. Bro, don't fucking... Ow, bitch! Fucking goddammit. Most houses there are made of stone. Looks like it withstands nuclear, but that's quite good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't underestimate European construction. We don't fuck around with that shit. You see, unlike America, we like it. We like not having to rebuild our houses every time a hurricane happens. Alright, you know what? Fuck it, knife. Oh, damn. I got cooked. Maybe if I'd had a little bit more reach with the cricket bat. Yeah, you don't need a license for a cricket bat. Wait, do you need a license for a cricket bat? Hmm. Take the reload time. This time they didn't come at me this time. Oh, that's a crash. This game, this mod is a little crashy. But then I had similar issues with just regular Fallout 4, so whatever. I always found that the crashes in New Vegas were far more tolerable because at least in New Vegas you're constantly autosaving. In Fallout 4 there's way less autosaves. The hideously minted two-headed rat stag is a pathetic creature that will likely run at the first sign of contact, but if forced to fight, it can prove a deadly opponent. Yeah. Oh, and another thing, Soundtown is still very Einonzur-esque. I don't know what that means. I do not know what Einonzur is, or Inonzur. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Once again, increase your weapon's melee damage. Add a bayonet. Alternatively, shoot him again, or switch to melee weapon. In this game, you can do that very easily. There is literally no reason to ever use a bayonet, except for the minigun with the spinny. Damn. Alright, let's get that level up. And let's put it into gun nut. So we can modify this baby doll. Distress signal lost. Well, sucks to suck, bitch! Damn, radiation in London is so much heavier. I seriously doubt that. Alright, you know what? Fuck you, dodge this. I forgot about that little thing that they could do, where two-handed weapons were slow enough that they could block in between their own swings, and so you couldn't really hit the... Oh shit, I got caught. But that's the thing with melee weapons in Fallout 4. Make it was a Fallout 4 has to be those cameras. But yeah, it's a problem with melee in Fallout 4. Two-handed weapons are just slow enough that when you swing them, or when an enemy swings at you and you block, the time it takes for you to go from blocking to attacking is enough time that they can block it. But they can't block fast weapons. So yeah, you're better off using a fast weapon, or one-handed melee weapon, basically a knife. And honestly, instead of the battle song, I'll use this because it's even faster. I see. It's way faster than the ballad song. Alrighty. See, that was way easier. What do you got there, excited? A knife! Oh. Didn't even know there were foxes in the UK. But I guess that makes sense. I don't know why I thought there would be foxes in the UK. There's foxes literally everywhere. Alright, let's take the time to reload everything. Make sure we're ready for our next confrontation. I believe UK even has or had hunting season against foxes. Ah, okay, so it actually is like a problem. Makes sense. Can't get through there. It's probably another way out, another way through. King Arthur is a little bitch and Merlin is a dumb name. Well, I guess somebody's trying to die. Man, as much as I hate the weapon customization, I would appreciate having a fucking place to do some weapon customizationing.
Where am I? Oh, how many more times must you reboot me?
Huh.
Hold in there, friend. You'll be as good as new.
Welcome to Great Britain. Foxes look at me like I'm some kind of mythical creature when I'm on the track. Yeah.
There you are. Do me a favor and send out a signal on that beacon up there.
Maybe a bit loud? You sure? Let me lower it a little. Music. A little 10% reduction. Said beacon. Where beacon? Oh, their beacon.
There you go. Try switching on your navigation system. Navigation systems online. Did it work? Yes. Well, don't sound too enthused. I hope the journey wasn't too formidable.
Not for me. No, I'm saying.
The Thames is no easy.
Who's your robot friend? What happened?
This is Barry. My dear seafaring friend. A flock of pigeons laid a nest in his circuits.
Aw, that's cute.
They washed up on the rocks. I'm not sure which happened first.
What do those beacons do?
Barry's navigation data corrupted. Had to be wiped. Those Mariner beacons transmit the data he needs to sail between places. Acting as a kind of waypoint. Without them, he'd be bobbing around aimlessly like a jellyfish. There's quite a few beacons along the Thames.
About that underground laboratory.
We retraced the boy's steps while searching for spare parts for Barry.
Damn.
It's not far up the road. The entrance is beneath that old monument.
They went on without me. Can't believe this.
Atop a pillar.
Heartbreaking.
From what I've heard, it was built to commemorate the first Great Fire of London.
Ooh, that was a while ago, wasn't it? Did you go in?
No. We kept a fair distance.
The Great Fire of London. That was like way. How many Great Fires in London have there been?
There was the original. That was before the war.
Yeah.
Then there was the war. That was the second one.
Ah.
Then we had another one 50 years ago. And that's it for now.
For now.
The boy knows his history.
I like that he has faith in his country. You wanna come with?
I'm in no condition to fight.
I'm not ready to go back there.
Alright, I'll be on my way.
Those people, please rescue him. Or, if you do, I know where that ghoul was headed. He might be able to help you.
Here's that key the boy swiped.
Alright. Box. Alrighty. The fuck is this? Here's hoping it's food. Some ghouls do come over as cool badasses. Ah, yeah. Like, you can't be as old as some ghouls are without being kind of a badass. Not in Fallout. Cyber Pigeon. Motherfucker, did you just shit on me? Yo, what the fuck? That bird literally just projectile shat at me. The government is spying on us through birds. Yeah. Apparently. The birds have a fucking built-in projectile shitting defense system. That animation needs a little work. That one ghoul from Valentine's questline, though. Oh yeah, the mob boss from before the war. That was funny. It's not effective at keeping someone at bay, but great at weirding you out. Yeah. Like, if I was determined to kill the pigeon, it wouldn't stop me, but it would definitely make the experience a lot less pleasurable. Oh no. No, no, no. Oh, this place haunted, huh? Hmm. I don't like those turrets. When they activate, I just know they're gonna fucking tear through me. Churchill, don't just... Okay, you know what? Good boy, Churchill. Good boy. By the way, what was you guys' preferred companion in Fallout 4? I understand they all pretty much did the same thing except for like 5 of them which actually stood out, but like which one was your preference? I kind of liked having Kate. Mostly for the eye candy. I didn't really need her for the lock picking. But I liked her story. Dance is cool, yeah. Having a power armored knight with a laser rifle. He was honestly combat-wise, he was the strongest companion by so far. It wasn't even funny. Never got far enough to get a companion based. Wish I could say the same. I got like 600 hours in this fucking game. Because like it was at a time in my life. It was at a time in my life where I was playing games really like casually, and so. Oh wow, a sneak attack takes it down. And so Fallout 4 was really good for that because it was also surface level. I didn't even need to worry about like actually giving a shit about the game. It was just like wandering around doing stuff. Ow, 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 ow. What? I'm addicted to dog food? Is that on purpose? That you can get addicted to types of food? And why specifically turkey? Bro, that shit must have been fucking heat, is all I'm saying. Because, like, I ate one bit of it for healing, and my character went, you know what? I never want to eat anything else. God fucking damn it. Shot me in the head. Now I can't see. Worth a piss. Come on. One more pop. Fucking, are you serious? Hit it. God damn. Can't shoot for shit. I got stim packs, right? Might as well use it to not be a cripple no more. You know what? I'm actually gonna leave all of the drugs here so I don't fuck up my Puritan status. Aww. Why cats? A human arm. This is a human arm, chat. Under what fucking sun? Because it sure as shit ain't ours. Straight up, under what fucking sun is that a human arm? What kind of humans live in Britain? That's from a ghoul. I don't give a fuck. Password required. Pneumatic cylinder. Like, there's a reason why ghoul votes only count half as much as a real humans, okay? Alright, why? Why do they have to send me here? Everyone knows this is where Smite sends all the crackpots and lunatics. Other scientists are an absolute nightmare to deal with. Need to get out of here. Need to prove myself. Something big. My coworkers are fucking sadistic. They insist on using human subjects, and when human resources can't snatch people off the street fast enough, they experiment on each other. Fuck, they'll probably experiment on me soon. Eureka, flash cloning will soon be a thing of the past. My new method is faster, more efficient, and you won't even need VATS. Just chuck some sludge on the ground, you'll grow a fully fledged super soldier in seconds. You'll probably want to give them clothes first. What? The director was very interested in my experiments. I've bought myself a couple months at the very least. I actually have a security protecting me. May have been overconfident in my abilities. I haven't once been able to recreate the moderate success of that initial experiment. I thought I'd have a working solution by now. That's what I told the director, at least. I'm so fucked. I need to do something drastic. I'll increase the potency of the sludge compound. Oh, that's what I fucking heard. Hey. Ooh. Chalky. Motherfucking love chalky. Bro, this is gonna turn into a fist fight with a fucking monster in like a second, isn't it? I'm gonna get fucking cooked, I just know it. Oh, look at that! Chains! We love chains! Oh, fuck. Look at this. Oh my god. It's gonna be their version of a super mutant, isn't it? Ah! No! Get fucked. Fuck you, pussy ass. One hit! Bro got me in one shot. Modern Thunder Warrior, bruh. Ah! I did not scream like a girl, you did. Fair enough. Jesus fucking Christ. I hit myself. Damn it, he's going for the charge attack. I can't block the charge attack.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Bro getting the fucking London treatment. It's a knife fight, bitch. Get fucked on. Yeah. God, I fucking hate Fallout 4's randomized rewards. Like, haha, you beat this guy. He clearly had a super strong shock electric prod. Oh, actually, I'm taking this shit. Fuck you. Taking this shit. Definitely, like, look at that damage, dude. It's insane. But you know, you get this garbage. Yeah, hooray! Get up, dog. You're fine. He grew from the sludge here, huh? I take it I'm one of those super soldiers. That's why I was in a vat. Like the guy said, like you won't even need vats and shit, you know? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, see how that shit turned out? Hmm? See how that shit turned out, bitch? Dumbass. Bag of whores. Textbook. Inspired cigarettes. Alrighty. I feel like many of Fallout 4 companions had some interesting bits in their questline and lore, but felt bland due to Bethesda's laziness writing. You wanna know what's funny? Fallout 4 had 13 companions, of which 5 had quest lines. Nick has the quest that you start with. Piper, you have an interaction with her. She does not have a quest. Strong, you get him by doing a quest, but he himself does not have a quest. 5 companions have quest lines. Log, lab shutdown. The date is 1904-37. The director is dead. I am now in command. This is my final report. The rest of this log is for Smythe's eyes only. Ensure it is delivered to his current laboratory of residence. An experiment involving a new cloning technique has failed critically, resulting in a lab shutdown. The state of the lab was unrecoverable at the time I took command. The scientist behind this disaster was the first to be killed by his own creation. Disciplinary action was therefore not possible. They had 4 test subjects that have moved into the contamination room. They believe this is for their own safety. The vagrants will act as bait to lure the abomination into the room. Once inside, I will subsequently lock the doors, remotely shut down the main power supply, and terminate myself. I hope this course of action is satisfactory given the circumstances. Be seeing you. And these two are corrupted. Undergoing diagnostics test system which may require replacement. Software bug. Object required. Identify the root cause. Okay, automatically corrupted. I think this was also automatically corrupted. Proven to be a asset. Behavioral training. False memory improved significantly in the field. Further refinement of technology. Automatically corrupted. Other companions' affection system kind of makes it seem they have a quest line. Yeah, they really don't. You kind of just need to have them with you, and eventually they start asking you to romance them and won't take no for an answer. I do think that the Fallout New Vegas companion affection could be done better. But I definitely think it's done better than Fallout 4's. Alright, I think we're just gonna have to go back to Archie and the Ferryman. What'd you find? What'd you find, boy? Some over here? Is it minorities? It's not minorities. Alright. Let's go back to the other thing. To Archie and the Ferryman. Oh my god, Jesus fucking Christ. Scared the fuck out of me. It just jumped over the cliff. I was like, huh. Not the cliff, the little hill. Mr. Churchill is a good boy. Yep. And not nearly as much of an alcoholic as the original.
You're back. Did you find them?
No. They were dead long before I arrived. Couldn't be helped.
I see. Do you know what happened?
Torn to shreds by monsters of abomination.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Damn.
Yeah.
Not sure what to do now. Oh yeah, the ghoul. He went west, I think.
That's where I was going to take you. Unless you want to save me the journey, Wayfarer.
I ain't much in a fight, but I'm good with...
I can have a kid as companion? Huh. Neat. Tell him about St. Paul's Sanctuary.
Used to be St. Paul's Cathedral. They offer sanctuary to all those who need it. The trouble...
Think Lazarus made it?
Possible. He ran faster than I did.
Huh. Sure.
You won't regret it.
Farewell, boy. Don't let this city Wayfarer, if you're ever in Thameshaven again, pay me a visit.
Down to business.
We have some important work.
Yeah, you can have this, and I'll give you all of the... I'll give you all of the 32s.
For you.
And I'll just keep the shoddy. Alright. Meanwhile, the dog is going back to the other place, to the Prilladog Food Factory. Alright. Let's go encounter those Templars. I had this weird bug in Oblivion, where the Count of Skingrad always followed me due to bug quest and would attack most hostile NPC. He was kind of like an OP companion. That sounds awesome, actually. Who was the Count of Skingrad, by the way? I never played much Oblivion. I played the main story, but that was it. Okay, we got some traveling to do for that. It's not super far away. Yeah, it's kind of what I figured. Yanis Hasselor, his vampire also. As soon as you said Yanis, I knew he was a vampire, and I knew nothing about the story. Oh, and he's an essential NPC. Yeah, Bethesda loves their essential NPCs.
Need a trim?
Not from you.
If you need me, you know where to find me.
Not with that haircut. Bro thinks he's fucking Robert Pattinson in the worst fucking day of his life.
That's a proper stiff one there.
Yeah. Oh, Sanctuary Guard. Definitely not picking a fight with these guys.
Hey, traveler. Come closer. I'm sorry.
A Frenchman in the UK and he's not a hostile NPC? I don't know about this one, Chief. Close. Not much of a sanctuary then.
Will welcome anyone in. The gate behind me is remain.
Is a ghoul named Lazarus in there?
I don't know, maybe. I will have.
Isn't it your job to remember?
So I'm a gatekeeper now.
Yes.
I'll have you know, I have many other important.
Please, can you just check the records?
I'm very busy at this moment in time. Now, just. The Lord guides us.
You violent hooligans will never get our peace! Die! It's my peace, fuck you! You filthy violent hooligans!
After that tussle.
Stand down, man. Prepare for the next assault. You've done well.
You'll never get our peace. It's mine.
You have my gratitude. You can certainly carry yourself in battle.
Damn right. I also carried you in battle. I think I deserve a reward.
Certainly do.
Bro really said, yeah, I carried me and I carried you, bitch.
Lucrative job. Consider it.
What's the job?
This group of hooligans. They have a leader. Violent.
Violent fucking hooligans! I must kill her to preserve the peace!
Taking this from their headquarters. Get rid of her, and we'll be rid of.
Won't someone take her place?
If we both will defend against the main forces. Well, with any luck, their organization will crumble.
Alright.
Get there right away. They're located in the old guild.
The old guild hall building. Let's finish off these filthy, violent hooligans. I should reload this. Honestly, I look threatening as fuck. I do like how traversable the map is. There's not like, you know, tons of barriers to my passage. That makes, you know, going around the city annoying. That's because most of Europe is very walkable, whereas most of America isn't. So I guess that fits. Don't want to fight those blood bugs. They are annoying. I hate them. They are very hateable. I would eradicate them all if I could. Fucking rad rats! Get 'em! Kill them all! Yeah, I don't think there's any meat left in this thing. Do you smell them, chat? I can smell the hooligans. They hide from me. They will not escape. Ooh. Should I get armor? Maybe. Toughness is meaningless. A little farther, Chief. You sure it's not your own smell? No, no, obviously not. I'm a keeper of peace. The smell of violence could never be coming off of me. It's a 5% damage boost. It's not that much. Crap. I wanted to press the other one because I wanted to see the perk information. Yeah, it's a total of 15% damage. No, no, it's not worth it. 20% extra health eventually turns into health regen. That's good. But let's go for armorer. I can smell it in the air.
Who's there?
Who's there, you ask? A keeper of the peace, here to eradicate you violent hooligans! Violent hooligans! God damn it. Crashed. I think I saved before that. Come on. Load, you unyielding behemoth. Unwieldy behemoth. I mean, not unyielding. Unwieldy. Bovine tuberculosis. Huh. Before the bombs fell, the Radger was once targeted by a called now. Oh god damn it. Let me see something about big leagues. Oh yeah, it's at level 27 that I'll get cleave. Cool. I'll be able to deal with more violent hooligans per swing. They'll stand no chance against my peaceful ways! Die!
First mistake.
Fuck. It's that Molotov. I need to destroy that violent hooligan before he can throw his cocktail of violence at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never stood a chance. Aw, toy alien, that's cute. He had a toy. It's a shame these violent hooligans corrupted those beautiful beasts. Aw, they even have doggy houses for him. That's almost cute, if it weren't for the violence of these hooligans. Okay.
Whoever did this is still around. Did you hear that?
Yo, that hooligan straight up fucking DO'd her way out of getting taken out in one shot. Wow, okay, goddamn.
I'll find you.
God fucking damn it, kid.
What?
Spread out. Find him.
We'll whip him up like double cream.
Violent fucking hooligan die! He had a chainsaw? Oh, never mind. By the way, kid, you ain't doing nothing. Like, you straight up not even fighting.
More stuff than the scavs I used to run with.
Yeah, you haven't fired a single shot. Give me this back. And the cookies, fuck you. Actually,
Sneak a peek at what
no,
we
I'm
did.
gonna give him all the bobby pins, so he can pick locks and stuff. I'll keep like, I'll keep 5. Wait, no, I meant I was gonna keep 5, not give him 5. I'm stupid. Okay. Okay.
That's some proper tinkering.
Ooh, caltrops. Actually, no, I'm not gonna take him. Reduce the chance of accidentally, you know. By the way, let me actually see what is the downside of this. Wow, I lose that much AP. You violent fucking hooligan! God.
Think we could stay here for a little bit?
Probably not.
Please make this quick. We gotta get moving.
It's called shooting straight, rookie. Disappearing actor.
Must carefully approach. These violent hooligans are more dangerous than you imagine.
Shit, lost him.
That's a big ass gun. Damn, that was stupid of me. Oh, wow. One shot almost took me down.
Dead already.
Kid, what are you doing? Well, maybe you should try. You know, take a swing at it.
That was it. They looked a lot tougher.
Yeah, they were. Where's the other chick? Oh, I deleted her. All right. Nice little sniper rifle. Cool. Oh, hell no. Like only one shot? No. Hoo-hoo. Yeah, if shooting twice deals more damage than one shot, then your single shot gun sucks. Sorry, dog. I don't make the rules. I just, you know, kill violent hooligans with them. These hooligans and ne'er-do-wells. She looked a little too alive. You can't let a single one of these violent fucking hooligans escape. Because then they'll breed. I'm gonna take a nap right here. And then, let's see, is there a place I could maybe check on improvements for this stuff that I have? Okay. Just a second. Just a second, guys. Alright, time to head back to the sanctuary now that we've cleared out these violent hooligans. What's this over here? Aww. To victory together. That's actually pretty badass. Still no crafting tables.
You like the
People.
Man, you guys are not good at killing all of these violent hooligans. Like, how are you going to enforce peace?
You're back! Victory is ours. Sanctuary is safe.
Yeah.
How did you fare with Guildhall? I trust.
I was outnumbered 1,000 to 1. They were no match for me. It was easy enough. They won't trouble you anymore.
Excellent. I knew you were reliable. On the subject of, you found him inside. Speak.
Thanks. I'll speak to the bishop.
Before you go.
Call me the Wayfarer, the oncoming storm, and the destroyer of worlds. Just someone passing through, helping where I can.
How noble of you. I am Lieutenant Rambo, at your service. Though stop by again sometime.
How brother managed to survive in, you know, post-apocalyptic UK is beyond me. Simply because it doesn't make sense. Like, come on. You're a French guy in London. How did you not get shanked at least like a half dozen times today? Yeah, why are you hesitating? Do you want to come with me?
God, I was hoping you'd ask. This place looks as boring as it gets. I think this is the start of a very lucrative partnership. I open locked doors, you shoot whatever's...
Alright. Time to get on it. Reverend Francis. Man. Everything reminds me of France. There's gotta be a crafting table around here, right? Just gonna climb up to the literal fucking Pope. Hey yo, literal fucking Pope. How's it going?
A defender of the downtrodden. Greetings. I was told you were helping Rambo and the guards to...
Yeah, we make a good team.
Indeed. Anyhow, I heard you were looking for someone.
Looking for a ghoul named Lazarus. Did he make it?
He did. Lazarus came back. You see, for a long time he was a devoted friend. In recent years, I don't know. Something must have...
Why would he be disillusioned?
Greed. Who knows? Not much is known about the place. Only rumors. It's some kind of Eden.
Must have been the Monument Expedition. It was a massacre.
Massacre? At the monument? It's so close. Thanks for bringing the word.
What's his story?
An architect before the bombs fell. We met shortly after. Lazarus was as loyal to Sanctuary as they come. And then, through time...
Can anyone help me find him?
Father Luke was investigating his activities here at Sanctuary. He'll know far more than I do. I haven't spoken to Lazarus in years. Now, the matter...
Sounds good.
Here you go. If you have any questions about...
Alright. We got Mooney. We love Mooney. Okay, so where Father Luke at? Damn, lady. Have your titty out. Father Luke is here.
Welcome, child. Sanctuary is open to you.
Told me you were investigating Lazarus.
Is that so? But Bishop Whaler's a kind and patient man. People like to take advantage. If you ask me, he's nothing more than a smuggler, peddler.
How'd you know
I
that?
have two working eyes in here. Lazarus had only one thing on his mind: his never-ending greed. Cigarette.
Hollow Nasties?
Of course I didn't. Mind you, fine. I don't have any ironclad evidence, just rumours. So what? Then again, if one were to
You telling me to go rummage through his stuff?
Me? Never. His bed's the foot.
Well, I'm thinking that's something good to start on next time, because it's getting late and it's about time we end it here, folks. So, I hope you had a good-ass time. I know I did. I hope to see you again next time. I'll see you then. But first, let's find somebody to raid. Who's doing something fun? Playing Celeste. I'm thinking. You know what? Hex Juice is doing episode 1 of the Yap Juice podcast, so let's go hit her with a fun little raid just to show our support. And I'll see you all on Monday. I was about to say tomorrow, but Monday. I don't stream weekends, so I'll see you then. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.